do, and I was gonna say, go ahead and get them rolling if we want to, and then we can actually talk about some stuff.
Yeah, WDW Pro sent us $20 saying, "Happy birthday, Tom. Today we all love turtles."
I like turtles.
Exactly. And he has the link, so he's welcome to join if opportunity permits. Valiant Renegade sent us another $19.99 saying, "I'm getting off the boat for this." Well, that's brilliant. Yeah, you also have the link and you're welcome.
Yes, he's on the boat today.
Our beloved Six sent us a super sticker. I do not know exactly what it is. I cannot see that, but
knowing her, it's either a pooper sticker or it's hard to say. Let me look here if I can get it.
Well, maybe she'll say in the chat.
It is a piece of cake.
Piece of cake.
Fantastic.
Birthday cake.
That makes sense. Hound Monkey has been a member for 9 months. We're glad to have you here. We may still be doing a membership stream. It's really horrible with words that end with a P and T because they're so easy to mix up for a non-native speaker. And Rick Johnson says for $5, "Happy birthday, my friend." And we got a membership stream from the Red Dawn Batman saying, "Happy birthday, Tom." And Adam sent us 9,490 Hungarian forint saying, "Happy birthday, Tom. Thank you for all the fun, the rants, and the yelling. May you get overwhelmed by messages sent and paid for by people you don't even know." Yeah, that's the
appreciate
of a YouTuber. Yeah. Dark King says for $2 Australian, 5 a.m. here, gotta bail and sleep. Happy birthday, Tom.
Oh, wow.
Well, thanks for being awake, for sending this. And then
yeah.
Mark Daly says for $5, "Happy birthday, Tom. Have a beer on me. I don't often get to listen live, but I always watch your shows on replay as I work."
Well, thank you so much, Mark. I appreciate it.
And our good friend and brother Mike, the Mexican Iron Man, sends $9.99 here as well, saying, "Happy birthday, sexy." Tom, what's your fun initiation YouTuber moment? Yeah.
Initiation moment. Yeah. I don't know if you mean like when when I become a YouTuber, because I was actually working on things years before Andre and I crossed paths, but that was probably when I finally had any real success. I had a few videos before that did modestly, I guess you could say. And I got myself to a point where I was making a couple $100 a month until Andre found me, and then things took off even farther. But then back then you could actually make a couple $100 a month on YouTube. Now you can't. But no, yeah, when I first got started, I was just throwing out like videos, music, just trying all kinds of sorts of stuff, posting stuff that I'd worked on in like high school and afterwards. And then I just started getting into movie stuff because I used to do reviews and stuff for the school paper and then for the radio and stuff like that back in the day. I was always the movie guy. And then when I worked in video for years and years and years, it just was kind of used to giving everybody my 30-second review on everything. And I kind of reviewed movies towards the people I was talking to because I kind of knew most of my customers and stuff. And I guess that just kind of led me to here. And I'm like, I want to talk about movies all the time. So that's kind of how I found this place, just, yeah. Sick of video games though. No, yeah, that's kind of it. I mean, once Andre kind of plucked me from obscurity, and we've done what we've done since then, that's kind of that's kind of the beginning. And I think we're getting to that, and we got to get back to our Midnight's Edge videos for our members. But I know at some point we hit the story hit the point where in the story where I come into play. I know what I'm trying to say.
Yep, indeed. I do believe you have one that's still waiting to be sent back to me. I probably have to resend it.
I didn't even see it. I was going to say, I'm surprised you didn't just send it to Pablo.
Yeah, well, it's been a few months.
Oh, that. Oh, I thought you meant like a video today. Like
yeah, no. That's
I know there was one that we sent back and forth like 3 times now that I could have swore I'd done that you said I didn't, and there was that.
But yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I swear I sent it to you like 3 times now, but yeah.
Yeah, and I have received it exactly 0 of those 3.
I don't know what the hell's going on with that. But we'll have to figure that out. But yes, thank you, Mikey, once again. And then we got Diro on next, it looks like. He says, happy birthday, Tom. Love you. Well, thank you, dear Ron. And we appreciate that. And for 20 euros, that's very, very generous of you. Got McKinney Draws saying happy birthday. Well, hello, McKinney. How you been? Sending in $20. Appreciate that. Hang out with McKinney once in a while on Culture's show.
He actually sent 20 more.
Just here we go.
At the same time. Yeah.
Just wanted to add on that Tom has been there for everyone, and I'm so happy he was one of the first people I talked to when I went on a live stream for the first time. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to believe how long I've known you guys now. Some of the folks in this panel and in the chat, it's awesome to see so many people grow. And then we got Scribe Light also here, who's on the panel, who sends in 10. Thank you for that, Scribe. Appreciate it.
Happy birthday.
And we got Film Watcher who sends in a super sticker. Let's see what it is. It's probably a piece of cake. It is. Or no, it's a hot dog. A hot dog.
Ooh.
Thank you. Hot dogs are good. And then we got Tennille who says, happy one day closer to death time. Well, now that's how Norwegians say it.
Yeah, indeed. Happy one day closer to Valhalla. To the Valkyries coming to get you.
Yes. And for now, then, we're caught up on the super chats. Let me double check on the PayPal side of things. And then we can talk about some topics, perhaps. We got Pete and Cat. Thank you so much, Pete. I appreciate that. He's a huge supporter of the channel. And speaking of huge supporters, holy crap, Daryl Brewer. You didn't have to do that. 50. Wow, that's crazy.
Wow.
I appreciate that. Daryl's a huge supporter, as always. Thank you. And I am getting a Brazilian wax for my birthday, probably.
Oh, good.
Buy a Brazilian.
Good.
So so what's on everybody's mind for this weekend?
Well, actually, I have a topic.
You have a topic?
Can talk about.
Sure.
Yeah, we have something that's relatively new for right now, and this is going to be close to Culture's heart because we have early weekend box office. Culture, what can you tell us? I'm sure you're reasonably up on this already. Although I just sprung this on him right now in this second.
I'm not surprised, by the way, that the Cat's leading the Furiosa. I mean, one of the cats has claws anyway. But look, all in all, I think you still have a slight marginal lead by Furiosa going into the Friday weekend, which is what this is. I think you're going to see disappointing weekends from both. I think Furiosa's off 57% this weekend. Versus a modest 53% for Garfield. Regardless, there's a decent chance that Garfield could win this second weekend of their shared domestic box office. But consider that Garfield had a 2 weeks head start internationally, which is why it's closer to profitable, if not already so, because of the deal that they have with Netflix. Sony's in much better situation here. My estimation is that it's possible that the 30-year executive, the CEO at Village Roadshow, may have decided to pull that 30-year and walk away from Village Roadshow because of the performance of Furiosa. He might have been one of the people that kind of got this push through Warner Brothers, but it's hard to say. Ultimately, there's just not a lot out there to watch. I think, something came out this weekend. I just don't know what it is. Paulie, you got a clue?
There's no major releases this weekend.
Yeah, I didn't think there was.
There's no major wide releases to compete with these films, which there's two arguments there, right? That's bad for Hollywood, good for the existing movies that are there. More people get to see the different movies, which is why you still see Fall Guy have little legs, Apes have little legs, and the Gato has gotten the families. And Furiosa is flaming furiously down the tubes. Like that, guys?
I think flaming out maybe, but look, no. And here's the weird thing. So Garfield right now is only $460,000 behind Furiosa in total gross domestic, which is weird. And what's also weird is that which is now 2+ weeks, 15 days into release.
2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, that one is 2.86 million, and pretty decent bounce back from the last weekend. But still down and still about 72 million. If you guys think that the Furiosa film is a flop, you're not wrong. I think that it's having difficulty globally garnering the kind of interest you would have expected from, the film.
I'm just surprised to see If is already at like 72.5.
Yeah.
Just an extra week.
I think Ryan
That's
Reynolds
still
helped that.
30
Yeah.
million over. I don't know that Furiosa is going to get 30 million next weekend.
No.
Oh no, it's done. It's
Probably
already
not.
got announced for POV.
The POV
Yeah.
will it should make a couple dollars. Yeah.
Garfield
Well,
didn't have a
and
big
speaking
budget.
of the Fall Guy, that's POV already, isn't it?
Oh yeah, no.
Correct.
And, yeah. Well, Polly was 17 days for Fall Guy to go to POV.
Yeah.
That's
So
insane.
the big difference. Oh, okay. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
Well, Paulie, I didn't mean to step on you. I just think
No,
it's
sorry.
insane that they're going so quickly.
It's the Wild West when it comes to this new variable as far as how studios can make money off films, and it's so dependent on what's the IP, what else is being released. But the thing with Fall Guy is the good word of mouth, that so people are still going to see it in the theater, even though it's been in VOD for a while now. Culture. So yeah, there's that, and I think it's anywhere from a $19 to a $25 price tag for Fall Guy, and that I purchased last week, so the girls could see it here at the house. They hadn't seen it, and they're like, yeah, let's treat everyone. I've already seen it, and I'd assume that's now the new era of moviegoing, and new moviegoing is these things at home.
I still don't know if it's going to break even though.
No, it won't.
Fall Guy
Yeah,
No.
I don't know.
break even. What, at 100?
Even with POV, I mean, in the box
No, yeah.
office, it's for sure isn't going to break even. But I think that even with all the POV, I don't know if it's going to break even.
Yeah, no. My point is that the fact that there is nothing new right now, movies like Fall Guy, good word of mouth is gonna help some of these movies this weekend. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm
Well,
saying.
Robert
And
De
we
Niro
have
has a new
someone,
movie.
we have someone in the wings that I just want to bring up here. Welcome, Nina Infinity. How's it going?
Hey, Nina, Pinche.
How's it going? Happy birthday, Tom.
Thank you.
Happy
How you
birthday,
been?
man. I'm doing all right. I, just hanging in. World is crazy, but it's good to have people like yourself and Andre and some of the folks on this panel to lean on in hard times. I just wanted to come and say happy birthday because you're, like I said on my Twitter post, you're a pal, and you've always been a good friend to me, and we have so much fun on Monday nights. You make Monday nights very bearable because they can be hard. So
And we have the best theme song too. Yeah.
we do, and you're just a blast to hang out with a lot of times, and even when we have difference of opinion or whatever, you've always been someone who comes at it from a kind place, and I really appreciate that about you, and you always care. You're a caring person in general, Tom. Like you care about so many people in the chat, people who don't they're not even streamers, people who are just hanging out in the chat, and they email me about you. Hi, I just want to let you know that Tom Connors, what he said tonight on Toxic Femme really meant a lot to me. Things like that. What you and Tom say really, really helped me out. I get positive emails about you all the time. So I just wanted to, share that with you and tell you that you mean a lot to people, and you bring a lot of smiles to faces, and that
thank you.
can never be, be understated about the kind of character that you have. So happy birthday, man.
No, I appreciate it. And I mean, all those kind words don't mean jack squat without money. No, I'm just kidding.
No money.
Oh my God, Andre, that's your department.
No, I just had to
We'll see what
drop
we can do
had to
here.
drop in a punchline there. But no, thank you for that. I
Of course.
appreciate it.
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah, of course.
No,
so
and
you
that's
guys-
kind of what Toxic Femme was all about to begin with, was just to kind of put a place where women can just geek out. right? And I like to just listen to you guys talk about stuff because I love to get women's point of view on things. Because growing up, I was always that geek who would hang out with his cousins, friends, and stuff like that, and just listen to chicks talk.
Mhm.
And I could just do that. And yeah, so
I know, because we're
It's always
from
fun.
other planets,
Yeah.
Mars and Venus or whatever. And sometimes, I mean, I can't even figure women out, and I am one. So, I mean, I can understand from the guy's perspective how, like, you guys are like, what the fuck are these women thinking half the time?
I'm
Like,
sorry
what-
to interrupt, but I just have to do so anyway because culture has to be sliding out, unfortunately, because
Oh.
the Bigfoot in Alaska aren't going to go hunting themselves.
You better bring me one
So-
home.
Okay.
I want a baby Bigfoot.
A little baby Bigfoot. All right.
Every
Tom,
time I
I'm-
see
Yeah.
culture, it's like his beard is getting longer and longer. How long are you going to let this go on for? Is it going to hit your toes?
hey, that would be pretty cool. Actually, I'm going for the fully realized hobo Gandalf look.
I thought you were opening a bird sanctuary.
Something like that. Well, there are a few nested in here right now.
That's
Anyway,
what I figured. Yeah.
Culture, if we don't see a picture of you topless riding a polar bear, I'll be very disappointed.
Okay, well,
Wow.
Or at the
I'm
very
gonna need-
least, a moose.
I'm gonna need some cargo pants for to be able to pull that off. But I might.
I
give
will
that a
settle
try.
for nothing short than a family of Bigfoots.
I'll work on it. Anyway, I just want to say a very happy birthday to my pal Tom, who I feel like is still my hetero life mate after all these years. And
It's
he's
beautiful.
always
Not so
the,
hetero,
Aw.
though.
he's always the Cheech to my Chong, and I appreciate that.
Well, you're definitely one of my security blankets. I appreciate it.
I feel like it every night. Anyway, you guys have a great evening. I appreciate it. Have a great birthday, Tom. I love you, man.
Have a-
See you
Take
guys
care.
later.
safe.
Speaking of security
Bye.
blankets, we have another security blanket coming in now. One of my
Hey.
Canadian security
Swift
blankets.
Doctor.
He's
Hey,
a Canadian security blanket.
Yeah, happy birthday, Tom. I heard Nina's beautiful tales about you, and I have to say, I too get emails about you, but they're always hate mail, and I just ignore them because screw that.
I figured that's the norm. That's every day that ends in Y.
Yeah, but I'm happy to be here. I'm many happy returns, another rotation around Earth's sun, and dude, it's always been a blast hanging out with you, and it's always an honor to be your friend, sir. And
Well, I appreciate it.
I'm so happy that we got another year, another year.
Yeah.
I'm glad you all can join in on my midlife crisis.
Is it really midlife? I mean, you got like what 8
No,
more years?
yeah,
before
if I'm
midlife, really?
lucky, I'm probably post midlife at this point.
Menopausal, really.
Probably. No, I
Oh, he's
appreciate.
been
I think
menopausal for way longer than that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Scribe, were you about to say something there? It sounded like.
Oh
or
no,
something.
I'm just giggling along to the
okay.
self-deprecation. That's all.
So yeah, we were just talking about Furiosa failing at the box office to Garfield,
Mhm.
which is no surprise to anybody.
So
I
where does
started
Fury...
saying, oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead, mate.
I started saying before that the one thing about Garfield is that the budget there is relatively low. So Garfield really, they're not worried. Whatever's going on with the box office is fine for Garfield. It's Furiosa with the $168 million budget, minimum budget, that's really in trouble.
Yep.
Yep.
So how long
Um,
until it ends up on Netflix or similar?
Real
Or
quick,
June-
I heard
Actually, June
Pauly-
25th. Yep.
June 25th. Okay.
I heard Polly was talking about Fall Guy and the word of mouth on that movie. So here's the thing: I watched that movie, but that movie sucked, guys.
Hmm?
That movie. Was
I got to
terrible.
side with Nina. I didn't hate it, but I felt like Ken and what's her face, Emily Blunt, had zero chemistry.
Ryan
so I was
Gosling and
like,
Emily Blunt.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
I
bad.
get that. Yeah. I mean, I will
Yeah.
say that at least it's a bad movie in the right direction because there wasn't anything
Yes.
completely offensive or horrible about it. And one
it
thing
starts
Yeah.
great
liked
and
it
ends
was-
great. It's just the middle. Yeah. Sorry.
I
go ahead.
really liked the stunts. I mean, these were practical stunts. I missed that. It's like I
Yep.
want more of that.
Yep.
Yeah, the whole thing with the girlfriend with the samurai sword that didn't need to be there. Like there's aspects to it that are like this is here because they need to pad out the movie for some strange reason.
How did she end up being such like a stomp man herself? Like all of a sudden she gets attacked, and then it ends up being him or whatever. But she beats the shit out of him. I'm like, how how did you
Emily
you're a
Blunt?
director? Like, how did you end up being a stunt person? It was
Well,
it was ridiculous.
Some camera people, some men and women are actually kind of strong because you have to carry a heavy camera, especially if you do steady cam and stuff like that. But Emily Blunt does not have the body of a camera operator or DOP.
No.
So going back to the box office, you know, what Price was saying, and the big difference with Garfield is, $60 million budget. Also, too, they did something very brilliantly. They released internationally first in waves, and they did really, really well. They're still doing very well. I mean, over 107 million worldwide collected as of today. That's, you know, that's not bad.
It's not bad, but the lesson to learn from this is that studios have to start budgeting to the box office now, as opposed to trying to compel people to go. I mean, I posted this tweet just very early this morning because I woke up in the middle of the night asking, like, how does the theater, like the movie theater, compare to every other social interaction that we have available to us right now? It's actually very difficult to make it a special event, because even going to like stage theaters, comedy shows, concerts, those are all the same type of communal event that overlaps with theaters, but there's another type of maybe one more tier more intimate with regards to social media and streaming and YouTube and things that, like what we're doing here, that people gravitate towards too, that is also a little bit more convenient than going out and doing those things. And to compete with that is really difficult. So I would say it requires a renaissance in film industry where you got to spend less if you want to make more.
Yeah.
I've always felt, especially recently, that I get discouraged from going to the theater for movies because I already know everything about them before I even would step out the door. I think there's something wrong or something faulty with the amount of saturation of information about productions that come out ahead of time. Story, plot, who's cast, this, that, and the other, because it's like, well, why bother going to the theater when I can see all the high points on clips on YouTube in a week or two?
I see where you're coming from, Scribe, but I just want to say, like, we used to have that same deal back in the day, and this is why I've given people crap about spoilers. To me, I think it's just the problem is that movies suck. Because back
that doesn't help.
We didn't care.
That doesn't help.
Yeah, we didn't care. I've got like a stack of adaptations, comic book adaptations here. We used to get those before the movie come out. Sometimes you had the top cards, the novelization. I knew every inch of Who Framed Roger Rabbit going into that movie, and I still loved it. But Andre, you were about to say something else.
Yes, indeed. Scribelight, I see where you're coming from, and my answer is that we, as YouTubers, cover entertainment. What you said right there, that's the hazard of what we do as a living. All of us, we started doing this because we love movies. And that's the irony. After we start becoming YouTubers and we cover, or journalists in the case of Chris here, and we cover entertainment professionally, then we can no longer see them as movies. We can no longer just see them as a fan. That's the price that we all pay for doing what we do. By choosing to devote so much of our lives to what we love, we lose part of that particular thing, because we can no longer assess it as a fan. Like, for instance, Scribelight, yeah, you are right. There's a lot of information out there. Most people never seek that out. We have to, because of what we do. That's the occupational hazard. You give up being able to see it as a fan. Of course, it's personally possible to do that just as a fan as well. But those who are so extreme fans that they do that, well, that's us who choose this line of...
But I think, Andre, that for all of us, we've all grown up loving movies, and I think we enjoyed that part of it, what the path was to finding that information. We loved the trivia. We loved the little bits and pieces of inside knowledge. You know, as Tom and others have said, it would have been before we may have got that from comic book adaptations or magazines or cards. We do love that information. I think, to Tom's point, I just think the movies are not as good now. So the information isn't as appealing as it used to be. We used to love that trivia. Now we use that trivia to explain why the movie isn't so
Unfortunately, you're right. Yeah.
That's the difference now.
Well, there was that. I just feel like I'm not saying you're wrong, Scribe, because a lot of these trailers, it's like, why should I even bother seeing the movie? Now I know the whole movie. Right. But I feel like there's just nothing there to really draw you in, and that's part of the problem.
That's
Maybe
how
we
I
should-
felt about Atlas. Did you guys watch the
Mm.
fucking trailer for that?
Yeah.
No, but I know the
Yeah,
movie.
trailer.
Yeah, like yeah.
It was so bad. The trailer was so.
I saw
so
that
bad.
clip about basically the one ripping off from Aliens about 20 times, and I'm like, that's enough. That and
Interesting
the
about
pronoun one.
yeah, interesting about Atlas though. I mean, it's a huge global hit, and yeah, you could argue say it's a bad film.
Well,
Mikey,
according
Mikey
to Zack
really,
Snyder, it made about $10 billion.
Yeah.
Mikey really liked it with his movie review he gave. But I think also too, which is interesting, is that some of these celebrities kind of know their pocket now, and JLo's definitely found her pocket with streaming new movies.
Right.
Her last
Certainly
three
not
films
with
have
concerts.
been her last three films have been hits on streaming. Whether they're
Yeah,
good or
yeah,
not, that's a
yeah.
different story.
It's
Well,
a
and some people were
contrast.
saying that movie was even kind of anti-woke, but before you continue, Price, I just want to say, because we have Valiant, because I think he's on his phone, so I just want to bring him in here.
No. I'm back home actually.
Okay, well then
Great.
shut up and let Price go. Jesus.
I was just gonna say that J-Lo actually, when it comes to her music and her performances, she canceled a whole tour now. She said for personal reasons, but I think that people weren't buying any tickets at all.
Because
it's
Ben took that dick away.
Ever since she married him, nobody wants to go see a show of hers, but her movies still do well.
Well, her
Surprisingly,
music's bad,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
she's not a theatrical. She's not a concert pool. And,
She ain't Jenny from the block no more.
She ain't no Jen- and
No.
they were like kind of like I think she was overreaching her fame because they were like what stadium.
There's some
She did
stadiums
Vegas.
and
I think they
20,000
wanted,
like,
seater
90
arenas.
dates in Vegas, and I think
I think
don't
Paulie's
she's not-
right. Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, this was because I know a couple. I know the two people that bought 2 tickets like in Houston.
J-Lo is
Right,
like one
yes.
of those rare occurrences where she started in music, but her acting career is much bigger than her music career ever was. And that, I think you're right, in turn informed her music career, and she was probably selling out stadiums for a while. But now that she's over the hill, nobody gives a shit. Right? Like, that's the
She's got
problem.
such great taste in men. Did you guys know she dated Puff Daddy?
Oh God.
Oh boy.
But is she really
She
over
dated
the
Ben
hill?
twice.
There's many of her peers are probably still filling out arenas, so it's a strange one.
Oh, Bean.
Yeah,
She got her.
It's still one of my favorites.
These concert tickets are not cheap now. So are people now making decisions around not paying $300 for that? I'm not going.
Well,
So
Brian,
that
it's
is why
interesting you
she canceled the tour because it wasn't selling the tickets.
Oh, I
Not
don't know.
it wasn't selling, and then some. Well, at first, some were selling and others weren't selling at all,
Okay.
and then it just stopped selling.
Wow! So
it went from
Taylor
a full-
Swift sucked
went
out
from a-
all the air.
Right, it went from a full tour to a
Mm.
half a J-Lo booty tour, and now it's no booty tour.
Wow!
Now
Do you
just-
think she would have been better, Polly, to go for more like theater-sized places instead of arenas, trying to get an intimate thing going with fans, hardcore?
I don't. I mean, musically, I don't know who. I think she
Her
probably
fans
should have
are.
done something very boutique, like a narrow niche, like a Vegas run, or something.
I
in,
think
in
that's
one
what
of the
she's
big
working on now, isn't it?
something in a big city somewhere where they can go see her.
Sure.
She needs
Are you
to
saying-
come
have
out
a
with
following.
a
She doesn't-
docudrama about dating P. Diddy. That should be her next thing. And then,
Are-
and then
She won't
Tell all
she
really
won't.
tank.
be
She
better,
won't.
yeah.
She won't respond to any P Diddy questions.
No.
They try
Are
to
you
do
saying
in
that she should have
Mexico.
had Jay lowered expectations?
Oh,
When she was in Mexico last week or week before, they tried to ask her some P Diddy questions. She was like, "Nope." There you go.
I don't
That's why
blame her
you
there.
don't answer questions. You make a docudrama and you release it on Netflix. And then it's like she can play herself. She'll be like,
That's-
I love you, Diddy. I'm getting arrested for you. I'm still Jenny from the block. You know.
No,
She's the
he's
fly
not.
girl, man. I mean, that's
That's
She
right.
was a
Yeah,
fly
that's
girl
right.
In living color.
In living color.
in living color. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
She
must
was
be the
always
only one on this panel that doesn't know a single J-Lo song and hasn't seen her in a movie since The Cell. I mean, I'm not a
Ooh,
J-Lo.
that was a
man.
good
The
movie,
Cell.
man.
That was
The
a
Cell
weird
was
one.
good movie.
There was
It
a video
looked
that she
good. It
was in a
was-
green
oh,
bathing
good.
suit. Sorry.
I think the
See,
last
there-
movie I saw her in was in Jersey Girl.
I'm
Died
sorry.
in that one.
Hustlers. Hustlers, it was El Cantante that she did with Mark
Well-
Anthony. You know what I'm saying is that like those actually had acting merit.
I might have seen Hustlers.
Which
Selena,
was, you know,
Selena.
they were smaller films that had got some acting, you know, that got a little acclaim. I actually think that's where she always had was her strength. Besides her dancing, was she actually became a decent actor without all this noise around her.
But this, she's one of those actresses though
Sean
that
Penn too, right? Did she have one with Sean Penn?
A movie?
It's an exclusive picture from Ben Affleck of when he found out the news about the tour.
Out of sight. Someone said out of sight.
Some kind of
Honestly, she's good,
Inquirer type of newspapers are saying that she canceled the tour because now they're going to divorce. But I actually think she canceled it because the ticket sales were bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
just
so.
don't,
Which is the better spin?
I just don't see how Ben is staying sober with this lady, man.
Ben only got
Well,
back
who-
together
who
with
think
Jen.
that
He
he is?
wouldn't actually say the wrong name in the throes of passion because he's always dating Jen.
Yeah, keep marrying Jennifers.
Jenny.
Yeah.
Marrying Jennifer's, yeah.
Probably
No,
cheaper
I'm
than
just
leaving.
seriously concerned about his sobriety, man.
Well, his sobriety is always on the edge, and then he picks women like J-Lo to get back with. And that's the thing, people forget. And you know what was funny is her career crashing corresponded with her and Ben last time too. It's funny you brought up Jersey Girl. I remember
Geely?
Kevin Smith. Yeah, and Geely was around that same
Geely.
time. Kevin Smith ended up cutting her out of about a half hour of the movie because people hated her so much. It went from being the fact that they were together actually got eyeballs on Jersey Girl, a movie nobody would have watched anyway. And then afterwards, because they had broke up in the process of, it became this huge thing. So they ended up chopping her down. She's like in the movie for like 5 minutes and she dies right away.
Yeah,
It's
she dies
hilarious.
giving birth.
Yeah. But she's originally supposed to be in like the first half hour, 45 minutes of the movie, and the death is supposed to kind of take you by surprise. But yeah.
Paulie, how does the Latino community feel about her performance as Selena? Because I remember when that movie came out, I really liked it. Like
Well, that's what put her on the map, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, she introduced me to Selena actually, because I was really young.
When it came out, the movie was literally started filming a year after Selena's death, which a lot of people did not like. Like, what the F? But it was, you know, Selena's dad that was producing it, and you know, he's got his dark side. You know, let's cash in, and he still to this day does that. They were at first like, why'd y'all cast this Puerto Rican as a Artejana, you know, gal? But that quickly went away because her performance was so endeared. It's endeared, you know, now the test of time. And I think that film has gotten more of a following since then, since it came out. Yeah,
That's cool. Yeah, I liked it at the time. I remember.
I know it
Great
always got
soundtrack.
kind of, it was kind of both mixed review. I mean, some people were really upset. I remember, weren't they, Paulie, that she wasn't
Tejana, yeah, Mexican.
Yeah, oh, you just brought that up. Never mind.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And it went that same weekend against Private Parts. And
Oh,
it
that's
lost
right.
Private Parts. So there was like,
and you guys remember also what was supposed to come out that weekend? George Lucas moved Return of the Jedi out of the way of Private Parts for some reason, because we had Star Wars, the special editions come out right before that. I remember that now. Because
See, this
I was
is the kind of
pissed.
shit that I love about Tom. Like Tom will bring up the most random fucking.
It is.
facts.
Well, that's my autism kicking in. It's like, okay, now I remember
love
where we
that.
are into history, because that's the weekend I was pissed because I didn't get to go see the Star Wars trilogy, because my plan was to go see all 3 films in one day in the theater. But since they delayed Return of the Jedi by a week or two, I didn't get to see all 3 of them at the same time because the first one had left already by the time they'd gotten to it. So I was pissed, and I wasn't going to drive to like Madison or something like that just to go see the Star Wars movies. It was just one of those things that I just remember being upset about it.
I just
but
love
Private
that
Parts was a
your-
better movie than it had the right to be at the time.
I just love that your calendar in your brain is all about like movie releases
yep.
and like what time is
and
when.
music. Mhm.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
that's cool.
Yeah, I remember most things by when a movie came out. It's kind of weird like that. But I did not expect to talk about J-Lo today on my birthday.
Yeah.
She's talking about you. She might be talking about you, Tom.
Well, I
Doubtful.
have another topic prepared for us because the trades, they are covering something now that, again, we don't have to wait until next week to cover, since we can do so right now. And Tom, this guy is one that you have a good take on exactly what's being reshot, because it's a movie that is being reshot. They're writing about it right now. Captain
Oh,
America,
Lord, I
Brave
saw
New
this.
World reshoots underway with new pages and new mystery characters. And we already know
Not
So
really
they're
mystery
reshooting the
anymore.
reshoots.
character is.
I think
No,
this
no,
is
no,
the
no, no,
third
no.
one.
They're reshooting the reshoots of the reshoot.
Reshoots.
Yeah.
Is the new mystery character Chris Evans coming back as actual Captain
No.
Oh my God,
America?
that was
No.
amazing.
Iron
It's
Man.
Giancarlo. Yeah.
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 That's
Yeah.
Giancarlo.
Gus Fring.
There's pictures of him all over. It's like there's nothing mystery about this now. I'm gonna tell you what. If y'all thought that Snow White and the Marvels is gonna wind up having a massively ridiculous, hilarious total budget, this thing is gonna blow. This thing has got to get to 400 million by the time all
Yes.
said and done.
Mm-hmm.
400 million.
Although Snow
mean-
White and the Marvels would be an interesting movie, don't you think?
That would
Alex?
be.
Yeah. Snow White's probably going to be pushing 400 by the time they do all the mess on the back end of that. This thing is probably going to get there too. I mean, it's going to take us a couple of years before we know all the financial returns to come in to get the reality of it, if we can find them, because I think a lot of this movie is being shot in the state of Georgia. So
Yes.
it's not it's not as easy to
State
get,
of
but I'm sure
confusion.
it will make its way out somewhere.
So Captain America: Brave New World is Marvel's version of The Flash from Warner Brothers right now.
Mhm.
It has been in production for a long time.
yeah.
It has been reshot and rewritten multiple times. In fact, just with the new stuff here. They're not. Even if they make, say, 700 million at the box office, they're still not going to be in a profit region.
No.
It's being
This
shot
thing
in the
has
state
to
of
make
confusion.
over a billion, easy, maybe 1.2 billion by the time you factor in whatever marketing they're going to spend, because they're going to be this deep in the hole in production. They may throw the kitchen sink at this thing, and they're going to be very tempted to do exactly that. If Deadpool gets close to $1 billion, I don't know if it will or not, but I think it's the best shot Marvel has, best shot Disney has for anything, frankly. But if Deadpool and Wolverine reaches that $800 to $900 million range, there's nothing between that and this turd next year, and they are going to throw the sink at this. They may spend $200 million on marketing. You're talking about, I mean, the movie's going to have to bust 1.2 just to break even. I'm betting.
If it busts
And they've
1,
already
2,
lost
it
a few
beats.
million because McDonald's has already done their co-marketing campaign for it.
Yes. I know, it's amazing. People were asking me like, "Hey, why is all the Captain Falcon toys out in McDonald's right now?" I'm like, "Well, let me tell you, because it was supposed to be out in
Because-
theaters."
What an
Oh my
because-
God, that's right.
Because basically, yeah, they're like, "Fuck you, Disney," and I guarantee you, Disney was like, "Oh, we need you guys to push this off till next year," and they're like, and
They're already booked for next year. McDonald's they have to
Exactly.
plan these things like a year,
Yep.
2 years, 3 years in advance.
Well, and this is where I was saying, like, because when I worked at Taco Bell, I remember it came all the way down from corporate after the snafu that was Godzilla '98, and then the following year for Star Wars: Phantom Menace, because those were the two big movies they bought in on for not just the kids' meals, but for the cups and all the other stuff to promote and all that kind of stuff. And even though the campaign was somewhat successful on television, it didn't translate to sales, right? Like everybody loved the here lizard commercials and stuff like that. But as soon as the movie came out, nobody gave a shit. We were stuck with all kinds of Godzilla cups and stuff.
I got a whole line of Taco Bell.
There you go. Yeah, see that? Yeah, they got stuck with so much of that stuff, Paulie.
Mm-hmm.
And that was during the special edition release. See, that one they actually made
wow.
some money on.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
that stuff did well. But when the
I have
prequels
a-
came around, yeah, they said they would never spend that kind of money or ever do that again because of the money they lost on the Godzilla and Phantom Menace campaigns.
I have a theory regarding Giancarlo Esposito.
He's the new
Basically-
character.
Yeah, he's the one that they brought in. It says here in this little little headline that he's a villainous character. Now, beyond the typecast that he's usually a villainous character, I think that this is a sign that the thing is poorly written. And instead of building some kind of character development with a villain that you really buy as a villain that goes through any kind of process, he's the type of actor that the second you throw him in there in that kind of Gus Fring vibe, you already know he's a villain. So maybe it saves you a little bit of writing, which they can't do because they're shoving him into a middle of a movie that's being reshot for the third time. That
Well,
makes
it's
Maybe he's
weird.
the new Kang.
Well, I was
Yeah,
gonna say
he's
what's
gonna
weird
be-
is you guys are saying in the background here he's wearing like tactical gear and stuff. Because the funny thing was he was being tossed about for either Professor X or Magneto.
Or Dr.
No,
Doom.
Yeah.
No,
Or
no,
Dr.
no.
Doom.
Oh wait, no, they already. There's a
Professor
black
X.
Captain America, like legitimate one. They used him in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but I would doubt they would recast that actor as Giancarlo Esposito.
No.
Yeah.
No.
There's no way this movie's going to do 1.1. I think that's what Civil War did 5 years or how many
I think that did
there's no
1.3,
way.
1.4.
8 years ago.
Well, and that's
No,
because
even-
Captain America was on the lower end of the Marvel films, and I love the first Captain America movie, and
Me
of course
too.
everybody loves Winter Soldier. But you guys are 100% right. It took Spider-Man, Black Panther, and all these other characters to be brought into Civil War
Yep.
for that to be the biggest of the Captain America movies.
Well, Winter
and most
Soldier
people don't
did
even consider
700.
it did, but it still didn't break the billion. That's my point. Is
That's
like,
why this isn't going to. This is not
Civil
going to
War-
reach half
no.
a billion.
and that's what I was
Civil War
getting to.
did.
Is Civil War was more like an Avengers film. That's the difference. I was getting to.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Civil War
So-
broke it, but you got to remember the ticket prices are 30% more now, even over that.
This is
30%
an
But
higher
60%
today
less
than it was.
audience, though.
This is an unpopular
Yeah.
character. Everybody likes the Falcon. They don't like the guy that's.
Well,
now-
you got to remember that the first time people are going to see this character is in this movie because most people didn't watch Falcon and Winter Soldier because
Exactly.
it sucked, and it's years ago now. So it's almost the same. It's almost the same effect as the Marvels, where you had two characters in that movie that, unless you've been watching the Disney Plus shows like religiously, you'd have no idea who they were in the first place. And the main character of this film was established in a TV show that nobody really watched or liked.
Well,
Well,
here's
this
the
is like
thing,
Doctor
though. They
Strange
should
all over
be
again.
establishing him in the Deadpool movie. We know there's going to be other characters in there, and if Marvel and Disney are so stupid as to not get Anthony Mackie at some point in the Deadpool movie just to remind folks or introduce the folks to the fact that he's Captain America, yeah, you're right.
Sure.
They're going to be totally confused next year. So if Disney missed
Well,
that, shame on them.
Yeah, you
I think
could
the
see
problem
Deadpool
there-
saying, "You're Captain America now. What's going on?" You know.
Well, and
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to really get into that stuff so much. We'll have to wait and see.
Can I
'cause-
ask a
You know
silly
what's
question,
even
Tom?
worse? It's the movie that comes afterwards, because I hear everything you say about B-list characters that the audience don't know. Well, what about the movie that comes after this, namely
Thunderbolts. Yeah.
Thunderbolts?
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
Marvel's own Suicide Squad
Mm.
with B-list characters from unpopular movies and Disney Plus series. They couldn't even use the good teams from the comics. These are just they're not even B-listers. I mean, they're D-listers on the
I don't even remember
roster.
hearing about this, Andre. What?
Exactly.
you
Well, wait,
talking about?
Andre, let me ask. Here's the thing: isn't Harrison Ford supposed to have a significant role with the Thunderbolts?
Yes, he's
It's named after him.
he's the new Thunderbolt Ross, the recast Thunderbolt Ross, because they didn't care that the actor died, and
William
they used
Hurt,
and then
yeah.
he's going to be the Red Hulk as well.
Yeah.
Well, here's the
What hell
crazy
is a
thing.
Red Hulk?
Think about when Disney was putting this idea together. They were hoping beyond hope that last year in the summer that Indiana Jones and the Dial of Crap would have been 3 to 4 times bigger than it actually turned out to be, because that may have supercharged the Thunderbolts. Oh, Harrison Ford's back. We can't wait to see him again. Nobody went to go see him in Indy. They were counting on that movie to help boost this movie, this Thunderbolts thing. The whole thing's been a mess for Disney. I think it's going to be another. It's going to be another piss take, is what it's going to be. I don't.
What
see
do you
anybody
mean no one
being
saw my
interested in it.
movie?
I don't know. I don't
I
know what
was
to tell you.
at the theater. I saw people. there.
Can I ask a silly? Can I just ask a
What's
silly
a
question?
theater?
All right. Is Captain Falcon? Is he got still the abilities of Falcon, but with Captain America's shield?
No,
Yes.
Or does he have Captain America's abilities now?
He doesn't
No.
have he has no super soldier serum. He's a completely normal human, except
Right.
at peak athletic, whatever else. He's got the
He
shield,
still
he's got
flies,
the suit.
though.
He's still got the jetpack.
Okay.
And that was one of the
Yep.
things in the series that made no sense at all. You've got effectively Joe Schmo, but in really good shape, going up against super soldiers.
But we
and
get a
everything
new
else.
Falcon in this
And
too,
he's
though.
very
remember?
Exactly. Yeah. we
Oh,
now
right,
have
yes, we
the
do.
Chicano Falcon.
Yeah, Chicano.
Yeah.
Falcon.
Okay, now I
How
get
we
it.
does
also
a
have-
normal human throw this shield enough to turn it into a weapon?
Exactly.
can't.
Right.
Which
You
makes no
can't.
sense, which is why it should have been Bucky from the start. But we have
Yep.
another panelist joining us, somebody who may
Wow.
have something to say about this, because he's a little bit of a Disney pro.
Uh-oh.
And I think one of us is going to have to step out to have.
I was
him
about to
come
say, I
in.
think
Oh.
we're full out.
I'll do that. I'll do that. I'm gonna bounce.
Are you sure, Nina?
But yeah, yep, it's all good. Thank you so much for having me on. And again, happy birthday, Tom. And I would love to hear you guys' thoughts with WDW Pro when he comes on to about the Blade situation as
yeah.
well, because that's a whole other mess. I know Valiant will probably have thoughts on that. So happy birthday,
Yeah.
Tom. Love you, bro. See you Monday.
See you,
and
Nina.
Thanks for all the laughs,
Cheers,
man.
Nina.
Take care,
Take care.
everybody.
Take care.
Adios,
being here.
pinche.
Bye, Nina.
We're
Adios.
going to talk about Rusty Blade.
Yes, and here he comes, the man, the myth, the legend.
See,
From
now
that Park
everyone's
Place.
going to be angry because I kicked Nina out. There's no way to win in this.
Yeah, well, you're
I'm
so
the bad guy
misogynist.
It's a sausage fest.
You're a
That's right. The
misogynist.
testosterone is flowing, folks. But
So,
I don't know if you
yeah.
guys want to talk about which disaster, but the Acolyte. My gosh, that's the disaster I'm paying attention to.
Well,
Mhm.
there's all kinds
Holy
of disasters
cow.
headed Disney's way, but we were just going off of the topic of Captain Falcon going into reshoots.
I'd rather watch
Again.
Captain Underpants.
Yeah. Well, I think
It's
that'll
at
make
least-
that will
at least
have
more
made more
humorous.
money at the box office at the end of the day, I bet.
Stop
Well,
talking
you know,
about Valiant.
When
That can
when
be
your
arranged.
budget is $1 billion, it's hard to make that money back.
Captain Underpants, you mean Valiant Renegade?
I can be Captain Underpants.
You sure can, buddy. You can do anything you want in this world.
You just got to believe in yourself.
That's
just
it's
gotta believe in
it's
your
Pride
underpants.
Month. I can do anything I want.
Hi, everybody. Valiant Renegade.
Emphasis on
So,
the
yeah.
gade.
So not only that, here's the big news of the week, I guess, when Disney, as far as Disney's concerned. Nelson Peltz backing out of the proxy war. He actually did this back in April, but we're just learning about it now.
Because of the
And I
SEC
find-
filings and
Yeah, I was
Well,
gonna say,
this
I
is-
think this has got to be one of the bigger bits of news. So do you see this as him just kind of walking away, or what do you see as a future to this whole battle?
This is Bob
If there
Iger's
is any.
worst nightmare, Tom. And Valiant may vouch for me. He may disagree. I'm not sure. But Nelson Peltz has made a huge amount of money off of Disney. He's made more than $1 billion, according to him. And I don't see any reason to not believe what he says. So he's made over $1 billion for his investors. If he's getting out, what that means is he believes that staying with Disney is a disaster for his investors. His investors want him to be with winners. So if he's getting out right now, that means that he's prognosticating that the stock's not going to help his investors over the next however long. So if the guy has predicted where the stock is going with that kind of accuracy to make $1 billion plus off of you, and he gets out, what does that say exactly about the promise of tomorrow? And I'll say this too, Valiant, you might want to weigh in on, this is not the first time that Peltz has done this. We've already seen this, and we know what happens next. Valiant?
yeah, I mean, I did a video on it a couple of days ago. Matter of fact, it's like everybody was panicking, like, "Oh my God, Nelson's giving up and going away." I'm like, no, this is exactly what he is supposed to do. Everybody thinks that these shares are like Nelson Peltz's personal shares. They're not. They're in a fund that he manages at Trian along with his team of CFAs. Their job is simple: make a return for our clients, our investors. He has a fiduciary responsibility with FINRA registrations, with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Their job is to do what's right by the clients. Nelson Peltz hinted at this months ago. Him selling every share of Disney stock. I woke up, I saw it, I'm like, yeah, and what else was he going to do? He talked about this because last year, what did he say? Why did he come back? When he did his town hall meeting, he made it very plain. He's like, last year we got involved. We bought in around $80 a share. Disney ran up into the 110, 120 range. And then we got out of the proxy fight, and for the rest of 2023, we watched Disney slide back down to 80 again. Well,
Yep.
after the vote was done on April 7th or whatever it was, and it was like, well, I didn't win. Disney right now is at about 120 a share. He can read the technical analysis just like the rest of us can, and we know that Disney is hitting its, probably hitting its peak, and we're going to see the same repetition again. And he wanted to get out before the next earnings call. He's like, look, I bought in around the mid 80s. I'm selling out around 120. My clients are going to make $1 billion frickin' dollars in profits in less than a year. What the hell do I need to stay here for? There's no reason for me to sit here on this stock for the rest of the year. Dump it out. We're going to go do something else. And if we watch Disney, come down from its resistance point, which was about 120, as we found out again, just like 2023, and it starts approaching its support floor, which may be $80 to $90 a share again, then we're going to see Nelson go, I did this twice. I'll do this shit one more time. Why not? So we'll see Nelson
Well-
buy in again later this year if he wants to, because he knows the power he has over this.
The stock
And it's
is
funny-
down 1/6 since the guy got out. Folks, it's been
And
a
it's-
month. It's down 1/6.
He knew what he
It's
was
funny
doing.
you say that, Valiant, because after listening to everybody else, and you and I hadn't had a chance to talk yet about this.
Mhm.
So your observation is very similar to what I had said. And my guess is this, though, because I've been asked this too, and I know I'm sure this is your number one question you probably get asked since then is, will he come back? Will he do it again? I think the answer is no, he won't do it with investor money again. I think if he makes another move, and this is my speculation, is that he'll get people like himself and a few other private investors like Elon Musk and a few other people, and they'll come in and start a proxy war with them with their own personal money and not Trion's.
No, he could
because
still
that-
use investor money.
They
that's-
could, but
Yeah.
I don't. I think he is a smart enough person to know that it would look bad for him to use investor money to go to war with Disney when he already backed out and got them $1 billion in profit. Right? He even though he lost the proxy war, he still walked away as a victory. And like Andre pointed out in, I think either in the video you did or when you said the other morning, I think it was, where basically at this point it makes them look bad because now they have taken away one of the biggest investment groups from Disney.
Mhm.
Right. So that sends a signal to other investment groups that shit ain't going to change. Right?
Well, to an extent, but I mean, if you look at what happened with some of the voting, like when you had, I think it was State Street, who withheld. They didn't vote for Peltz, but they also withheld votes for Michael Froman, who Peltz was going after. I think it was State Street that did that. One of the second or third biggest holder of Disney stock. So that was a message in and of itself. And then you've listened to the change in tone from when these people call in. The earnings call that happened in, what was it, in May when we got to that point, in early May, the earnings call that came after the annual shareholder meeting. And like the questions were very different. I mean, they were hammering Bob Iger again about what about the studios? What about these IPs? There's a lot of things at Disney that just seem to be, commercially dying. And I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but the tone has changed. I think Bob Iger was able to convince them again this year, give me one more chance. And I think his goal is going to be he's got to get before October of this year, he's got to get a successor named. It's probably going to be Dana Walden, but he needs to name somebody, because if he names a successor, then it takes away the fire that Peltz has. It all depends on what Iger does between now and the end of the fiscal year this year, which is September 30th. I think that has a lot to do with it. But Peltz hasn't been as successful as he's been by being a technical idiot. And he looks at Disney, something like Disney, to where, hey, at $120 a share, it's trading way over where it should be based on whatever metric he uses. If it's a free cash flow valuation versus something else versus price to earnings or whatever. But you get down to 80, it's like, hey, it's really attractive right now. It's lost a third of its value, and it's priced in the right range for me. Might he pick up another $3 billion worth of shares? I don't know, but I mean, he might still pick it up regardless, because for him, it's all about, look, I can take some of the assets of this fund, put it back into Disney, and I feel confident enough, that within 12 months to 18 months, we're going to have a very nice return for investors on this portion of the portfolio. That's all he's interested in.
I'm just saying,
Is it
because
okay
I don't.
if I ask a follow-up after? Go ahead, Tom, but I want to ask a
Well,
follow-up to
yeah.
Valiant, something I've never asked him that is intriguing to me.
Oh,
Go
well,
ahead, Tom.
I was just going to say, the only reason I asked that or say that is because I don't think he'll bring Tryon back into the fold until he's confident, at least in the public eye view, where they're back on the list of the trusted. I can't remember the specific name for it, but that they got downgraded from.
Oh yeah, here's the thing. Here's the bottom line. Peltz will jump back into Disney if it's the right time of year and the price is right for it. That's it. If Disney is floating up at $110, $120 a share towards the end of the year, he's probably not going to do it.
No.
But I mean, if it's back down at 80, yes, he probably
That's what I was
will.
thinking. Is I think there's a magic number, and I think your number somewhere between 80 and 60. I think you're right. But again, I this
Whatever
is just
that
my
technical support
speculation.
level is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that he will try to. I don't think he'll use investor money at first. I think he'll go in for the kill, like I said, with himself and a few other private people like Elon, maybe, and something like that, to kind of come in and really cause a stir in Disney, because I really don't think he's going to use the money. But I could be wrong. We'll have to see. Andre, you had a slightly different take on it, I believe, if I remember correctly. But we do have some super chats and stuff to get through here too.
Yeah,
but-
let's go through those first. But I don't disagree with anything. Like, I don't think we've seen the last of Pelts. Again, I think that Trian is gonna be back.
They might
Permission
be
to throw
back,
this
but if they
question to
invest
Valiant,
in-
though. Is that
if they
okay?
invest in Disney again at 80, they are then basically affirming that Disney is doing something right, and they're not going to change because they got Trian back at 80. So just because Trian invests at 80 doesn't mean that Disney stock's going to go up, because again, Disney still has to change their behavior in order to become profitable.
Exactly. That's where I'm coming
if
from.
Trian
Yeah.
invests in that while Disney's failing, Disney's going to take that as a sign that, okay, they're getting in at low, but that means that they believe in what we're doing. And then it's just going to be cycled all over again. And there's no guarantee that the stock will go up, especially since they actually have understand the tactics of what they need to defeat Pelts in a proxy war.
Yeah, basically you're coming from where I'm coming from, Script. Exactly. I don't think he would do it again until it is a profitable, or it looks like
it has
it's
to be something
better.
extreme.
Yeah.
It has to
He
be
won't do it
something
again until
extreme.
Bob Iger's out, because
Yeah.
that's the only way Pelts could actually get control and shape Disney
But-
if he wants to make money off of them.
You
Program.
don't
Let me
think
throw this
Mona
question at Valiant real
2
quick.
and Inside Out 2 is going to increase Disney
No.
stock.
Exactly.
So Valiant, here's my question to you as I hijack, just momentarily though, because this is a question I really want to know, and I bet the audience does too. Lawfare over the last few months has not been limited to the executive branch and to elections. We have seen something unprecedented when it comes to how Delaware is handling corporations and the payouts that go to corporate leaders. Specifically, I'm talking about Elon Musk. Valiant, do you believe that Delaware court that prevented Elon from receiving his just payments for what he did with Tesla, do you think that had anything to do with trying to prevent Elon Musk from having a giant wad of cash, the likes of which almost nobody has ever seen before, to go around and influence companies like Disney and join in with Nelson Peltz? Do you think that was partly why the Delaware court did that?
To be honest with you, I'm not fully aware of the specifics of it. I've seen a little bit of news on that, but I would suggest that this is part of the problem. Is all these companies, for those of you all watching out there, a lot of these companies, the Walt Disney Company included, is incorporated in the state of Delaware. And it's because they do things differently there. A lot of Fortune 500 companies, a lot of bigger companies, smaller companies that incorporate in Delaware because of the privacy issues. I don't know how a judge comes in the state of Delaware and says that a company can't decide to compensate its executive in
Fulfill
such
its
a manner.
contractual obligation.
Yeah, if the stockholders have approved by way of their representatives, which is a duly elected board of directors for a publicly traded company, if the board of directors and the compensation advisory committee, which most of these boards usually have, approve this, then what are we talking about here? So yeah, is it possible they did this in a kangaroo court setting because they didn't want Elon to do X, Y, or Z? I guess anything's possible. Nothing is out of the cards today in this day and age. It's been made very clear that judges, entire courts, entire prosecution offices, both state and federal, can be absolutely hijacked, corrupted, and used for purely political means.
Listen, Disney is the playground of the elites, and I think that the elites decided they didn't want Elon Musk having liquid cash sufficient to step into anything,
Yeah.
whether it's Disney or some other corporation. They didn't want him having the kind of cash that he could do a Twitter 2.0.
I'd have to look into that court case a little bit deeper, but yeah, I'd be interested to see.
But all right. So I think Brian has to leave us, right? Did I read in the background?
Yes. Happy birthday again, Tom.
Well, thank you for being here, Brian. I
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
everything you've done supporting me and my little channel. Appreciate it very much. It's been an honor to be on a panel with all these wonderful people as well. So appreciate that very much. Have a great day, everybody. See you all again soon. Take care.
He has a tremendous backdrop.
Thanks
Look
for
at
joining
the
us.
backdrop he has.
He does.
It's just some of the posters.
That
Can't
is
get them all
awesome.
in. Can't get them all in. There's a whole stack of them just lying over there. But anyway, yes. See you guys all again soon. Have a great day, everybody. Great. Have a
Bye,
great
Brian.
day. Bye.
Take it easy, buddy.
Love that hat, Chris.
Bye.
There we go. And we got Primarch Vulcan, who sends in $1.99, says, Happy Womb Eviction Day, Tom. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Brett Cohen sends in Australian 20 and says, Happy birthday, Tom. May it be safe, joyful, and prosperous year ahead. Glad to see America knows how special you are and has a whole month just for you. I know, right? I'm so privileged.
gay, gay, gay. He's so fucking gay, 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 gay.
Oh my
It's
God,
the
I'm using
auto-tune
that
that makes it.
Sunday. Yeah.
When did you get Culture to sing that?
Oh.
Maji Chan says happy birthday with $2. Thank you so much. Nicholas Horton's in the house. How you doing, Nicholas? Says happy birthday, Tom. Hope you had some great gifts and enjoy an unexpected release of Godzilla -1. Yeah, that's a real quick story we can talk about real quick. That kind of took everybody by surprise. All of a sudden last night, in the middle of the night, we find out that Godzilla -1's not only coming on video on demand, Netflix got it all of a sudden. Just boom.
Netflix is going to be very happy then.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I want to know how much Netflix paid. If they took a
Well,
whole like
that's the
18-month
question.
pay one window, if they got a whole 18-month pay one window, then I'm hoping they probably had to pay at least 50-60 million for that.
When
not-
does it come out? When is it on Netflix?
This morning.
It's on. It's
Oh,
on.
happy
They just-
birthday,
it
Tom.
was
Right
just-
now.
That's what I mean. They
Midnight.
just
Yeah.
there
I'm
was
watching
no
tonight.
lead up to it, and we literally got like 12 hours at most.
It was
notice that
last
it was
night.
happening.
It was last
Yeah, it
night,
was
Tom.
like,
Netflix posted it, and
boom.
I even retweeted it. I was like, what? Because like I had just bought
Well, I heard it was
the
coming on
Japanese
video on
4K.
demand.
Yeah, I just bought the Japanese 4K like a month or two ago.
Well, and
Folks,
I've
if
been
you don't-
predicting
if you've
that
not seen
July
it, you
is when
gotta
it'll
watch
come
it.
out on. I've been predicting that July is when it's going to hit disc here. Well, the funny thing is I haven't got Netflix, so I really kind of want to watch it this way.
I don't know if maybe
You'll-
it won't hit disc here. Depends how much Netflix paid and what they paid
Maybe.
for. They may have paid for 18 months of
Man.
exclusivity with no physical media. I have no idea.
It's the best movie since Top Gun Maverick.
Concur. Tom, that's
I-
why they did it, so you would subscribe to Netflix. That's the whole point.
I don't think Toho would be that stupid. That is.
Are they doing the black and white version also, or just the standard?
I think it's just the standard, but because you can buy the black and white one separately on video on demand, but the video on demand one is only Japanese with English subtitles. The funny thing is I'm half tempted to get Netflix. I'll probably do it just before Beverly Hills Cop comes out and check it out because they
You know who
actually
came
have
out? You know who came out with the black and white version of their new film?
Who's that?
George Miller, Furiosa.
Yep.
Oh God.
Chrome and
Anyway,
black or
For
whatever.
the low cost of $20, I'll
Screw
tell you all how
that.
to get the black and white version just by using your TV remote. $20.
well, I'm not excited about the black and white version. I'm excited about the English dub version.
Oh,
Why?
man.
No,
Because I loved growing up when I watched the
No.
Godzilla movies.
Is there an English dub?
There is now an English
-1?
dub,
Get out of here.
-1.
Get out of here.
It'll be,
I
on
don't know
the,
what
it'll be on the disc, but I don't want to. I would never.
It'll make his acting silly, man. His
I
acting.
wanna
My
see it
wife
that
will
way.
only
See, that's
watch
the only
English
reason to watch
dub.
those dubs is to laugh at it because they
No.
always
Well,
suck.
that's
think
the way.
they
But I
like
don't want to
retro
laugh at that
all these
lead
movies.
actor's performance. That lead actor was incredible.
Oh,
he
absolutely.
was.
I'm not saying that, but you guys got to understand. This is how I grew up watching Godzilla and Kung Fu movies, right? Or with all the bad dubs.
They need
So,
to do
like-
that. They need to purposefully make it a bad dub. It needs to be like, oh my gosh, look at this Godzilla. He comes for us right now. We must save
Yeah.
Tokyo.
I'll put it
Godzilla.
like- the Japanese box set that I got. I mean, there's no English subtitles on it at all. It's in Japanese.
Well,
Period. That's
You
it.
have an Oppo player, right?
Yeah.
You can actually add the subtitles to it through an SRT file.
Yep.
Well,
on a-
I mean, if
on
I
a
guess if you
USB
download
drive.
it, but I mean, here's my point:
Yeah.
is playing it on that disc. I was able to follow and enjoy the movie just fine because I saw it in the theater with the subtitles. I knew what was going on. I knew the relationship between the characters. I remembered all the scenes. To me, it's like, would it have been nice to have the subtitles? Yeah, but it's a Godzilla movie. I mean, it's like you already knew what was happening. And Renegade Jr. and I sat there and watched it without the subtitles. We were cool. It's like, oh yeah, remember this scene? This is when they find the baby and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, it didn't matter. I was perfectly happy.
That's a
They
good
should
Yeah,
get Chris
actually,
Pratt to
it's-
do all the voices. Chris Pratt should do all the English dub voices in every character.
Chris Pratt and Jack Black together in Godzilla -1.
Actually, I'm kind of wondering. You might be right, Valiant. It might not come to disc yet. I'm curious if they'll turn around and re-release it in theaters one more time before they bring it out on disc. But we'll see.
Why not?
We have a lady joining us now, so suck in your guts, guys. Mandy is here. How you doing, Mandy? Been a long time no
Happy
see.
birthday! Hey guys,
What's up?
what is
Oh,
up?
Mandy.
I'm hungover, like
Oh,
seriously hungover. So I woke up, I took some Tylenol, and then I drank a little bit of water, brushed my hair, and now I'm here. So hi guys.
You know,
Hey,
those
Mandy,
those,
good to
those
see you
going to bed
again.
at 4 a.m. Live streams on Friday nights. It's going to get
It's
you.
right. It's a
eventually,
little
Mandy.
rough. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a little rough. Yeah. Mm.
Wow.
I think the way that they did Godzilla -1 is the new model. I mean, if you're going to do it, it needs to be an event. It needs to be released the way that they released it. I think that's a master class on how big movies.
The only thing I would disagree is I think it should have got a bigger release. I think it should have got.
Okay.
I think
Do we
they
get that with a sequel?
underestimated. Yeah, I think so. I think they underestimated the popularity, and it's not their fault because they were probably going off of what Shin Godzilla did.
Yep.
But that is a very niche Godzilla film, right? Compared to this is very palatable for anybody, and anybody who's not even really a Godzilla fan can watch this movie, and it might even be the kind of movie that is a gateway to folks watching more subtitled films. I think too, because you're right, Valiant. This is a very easy film to understand just through the visuals, right? Even just through the emotions of the characters, you don't really even need to know every word they're saying.
Nope.
Just because you can tell what's going on screen. And really, from my memory of seeing it in the theater, because I haven't watched it again all the way through, I just watched part of it last night because I had that video to edit. But like, even then, I'm like, God, there isn't a whole lot of dialogue throughout the film. Like the director, I can't ever pronounce his name, so I didn't want to butcher it. Like he did a really good job of show don't tell and emoting and telling you through tones and other things throughout the film. Like, and just watching it, like I was giddy like a little kid again watching Godzilla films on Sunday movie marathons, right? Like it was one of those kind of movies, and I'm glad to see it got dropped the way it did. But I do want to check it out just for shits and giggles in the English dub, just to see how they handled it.
I was going to watch it this morning on Netflix just to kind of compare it visually to see how well it holds up to the actual physical media, but I didn't get a chance to. But I'm going to probably watch it later tonight whenever I get back home. So
listen, I'm hosting a barbecue. It is now must watch at the barbecue. Everybody's watching Godzilla -1 with me tonight. We're doing it.
Nice.
Yeah. Mandy, have you seen Godzilla -1 yet?
I have not. I've heard great things about it. Everybody that's seen it really liked it, but I'm too cheap to go to the theater right now.
Well, it's on Netflix as of today.
Yeah, it's on Netflix today.
Yeah, that's why we're talking about it. It just the price dropped on Netflix.
Well, nice.
See,
I'll
look-
watch it tonight.
Hey, Mandy. Hey, sweetheart. How you doing?
Hey, hon, how are you?
What's up, baby? Listen, look at Mandy's reaction right there. That's what we were talking about earlier, Script.
Yep.
You got she got fam. She's holding her budget. You got a budget. You're gonna go to the theater, expensive. Da da da. As soon as you heard it was on Netflix, right? Boom.
Yeah. Now I'm into it. Yeah, I'm into it.
Well,
I'm
Madam
not paying
Webb
theater
had the
prices.
same thing, didn't? Oh, I'm sorry, Mandy. Go ahead.
No, I was done. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, didn't Madam Web have a similar thing happen here just this last couple of weeks? It was like, what was it on Amazon or Netflix? I can't remember which. Netflix, yeah, and it like was like #1 for a few days on Netflix.
Stayed in the
people
top
like,
5 for
yeah,
a
because
while.
people are like, to hell with it, I'll give it a shot since it's on Netflix. Yeah.
Well, also too, by now Sydney Sweeney's name is way bigger than it was just
Well,
4
exactly.
months
And
ago,
people want
2
to see
months
what
ago.
it's all about. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Along with her chest. Oh, wait, what?
Oh, well,
Yeah,
and
you
Morbius
don't
did the
see
same
much of
thing
that
too
in
from
the
memory.
Now her chest ain't nothing to not
But
watch.
if they went for that, Madam Web to see her chi-chis, man, they're disappointed.
out. Oh,
Yeah, you got women in
disappointed.
skin tight uniforms, yet they still made her look bad. And of course, she was going to play that off like she did. I mean, that was a masterclass in how to handle this bullshit. I've never seen an actor or actress, and she may even not be that good of an actor and actress in the general. Like, I get that, but I've not seen anyone handle it with such panache like that and walk away from a flop like that and almost make her career better because of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
How
she's a
often
great
does
celebrity.
that happen?
She's a great celebrity.
I don't know how well Barbarella's going to turn out, but I wish her
Hmm.
well.
I mean,
It is impressive though that she was able to come out of Madam Web a bigger star. But I'm going to shift the topic slightly because I know we are about to lose a few panelists.
Yeah.
We have a lot of that in advance. We got a couple
Yes.
of super chats here that we have to address
Yes.
with those very panelists.
Please.
Embrace the Apocalypse. Wonders Pro. What's happening with KK's contract in September?
Well, this actually gets more interesting now because, first of all, it ends in October. And the last time that KK's contract was extended, we started hearing murmurings about what was going on. And I believe I had that exclusive. Maybe someone else beat me to it. I'm not sure. But
I think we might have. But,
you guys might have. That was 3 years ago. This time it's going to be in October again. We should start hearing things once more. But here's where things get so much more interesting. I have spoken with some folks who have seen the majority of the Acolyte now. They tell me, and you've probably seen some reactions from some of the folks out there in our orbit. They tell me that by the 3rd episode, this is going to wipe out. Well, let me put it this way. They say this is going to anger anyone who remains as a Star Wars fan beyond anything we've seen before. And I mean, that's a shock. I mean, we're talking about more than Last Jedi, you know, but apparently this is the first 2 episodes are fine. The 3rd episode is going to enrage people.
Fans left.
Which
Yeah,
kind of
that's what I asked.
Yeah, that's kind of funked up.
So, well, it's great for us. I mean, we're just gonna run
and
with that ball.
before we get too far with the KK business, here's the thing that I noticed is funny this time, and I don't want to add any fuel to the fire or possible fires.
You heard it here first, folks. Tom says KK is fired already. They've pulled her out. Kicking and screaming.
KK on. No, here's the funny thing though I've noticed is that George Lucas is getting a bunch of those Lifetime Achievement type awards. So it's more like he's the one who's being retired from Star Wars more than she is. Because remember, we brought that up many, many times. That's when you know she's about to head out the door. Is when they start giving her all these Oscars and awards for things that she never did.
Oh yeah. Well, that's just it. We talked about that years ago. If we started seeing that 3 years ago, but yeah, her contract will go through October 31st. I think it's October 31st every 3 years. So we'll see what happens. I mean, the woman's 71 this year, I think.
She's
You know what
71, but she's not going anywhere until people start talking about someone that could possibly succeed her.
Right.
And the only name I have heard that could be that case is Carrie Beck, and yet we hear nothing about her in the trades. So if people
Filoni
start
did
hearing
himself
about her in
no
the trades,
favors in the PR recently.
if we don't hear about anyone in the trades that is getting some extra press that's not KK about Star Wars at Lucasfilm, she's not going anywhere.
Script's exactly right.
Well, and here's the other thing, guys. You got to remember, there has not been a Star Wars movie since The Rise of Palpatine. So they can't really point at any failures. The only failures that they'll know is whatever internal numbers there were from, the Disney Plus programs. And I still guarantee you, even though they're not getting great ratings by our comparisons or by other shows' comparisons, they're still going to look at and they're going to keep that. And she's going to stick around for a little bit longer. I don't see her leaving anytime soon. They're going to renew her contract for at least another couple of years, probably. Script is right. Until another movie comes out and flops, I don't think she's in as much trouble as we think she is. I would love to think that, but unfortunately, she's still Kathleen fucking Kennedy. And she is probably one of the most powerful, if not still the most powerful people in Hollywood.
Let's see how the Acolyte plays out, though, because if the reaction is as bad as it could be, then
I think they're already anticipating it because we're already hearing rumors that they're going to kill the High Republic bullshit.
Yeah, but I'm here. Yes, exactly. They're already employing the Kenobi, the Kenobi 2.0 strategy. This is Reva all over again, right? They're already victims before the first episode lands.
Yep.
Do you think George Lucas's recent comments about you can't just put a woman in pants and expect her to be a hero has anything to do with what we can expect with the Acolyte?
No, I think they're saying that because, again, even though a few weeks back, Price has speculated that Bob Iger is the guy that got this Khan tribute for George Lucas. The fact that George Lucas said those things proves otherwise, because it was Khan just like, hey, it's George Lucas. He's on the out. He's kind of retired. Let's go do some celebrations to him. And other people are getting that note in Hollywood too. George Lucas has kind of publicly, announced that he is stopping everything that he's doing with regards to movie making. Right
I've been thinking about this a little longer because that whole event, the big deal about that event was it was Spielberg, Coppola, and Lucas.
Yep.
This is what I think's going on. They are pushing out the old guard out of Hollywood. That means all these guys that basically made Hollywood what it is now, they're trying to get rid of. And why do you think they're trying to cancel people like Coppola and make him look like a has-been and a wackadoo, and even coming up with
too
the lamest
old, too white, too male.
Yeah, exactly. Coming up with some of the lamest Me Too bullshit I ever heard and other crap just to try and make him look bad through Megalopolis. Who cares if Megalopolis is garbage? He put his own money into it.
Yep.
Right?
And I've read the 211-page script. It is bad.
It probably is.
Who's next after Richard Dreyfuss? You get Richard Dreyfuss.
That's just it. And that's another one that's bothering
he's
me.
got no pull. Yeah, Dreyfuss has no pull anymore because he's not actively directing in Hollywood and stuff. He's just an icon.
Yeah.
How many other old icons are we going to tear down for the next regime?
Well, it's not just that it's a tear down; it's the fact that who is succeeding them. There was 40 years where there's no successor
AI.
to these three people in Hollywood at their level, and there's a reason for that. It's because those people made sure there wouldn't be a successor to them. Spielberg, the principal architect of that. So this is kind of a chickens coming home to roost, but it's being done so with very ill-gotten motivations. It's like we're pushing you out because we have this other agenda in mind, as opposed to listen, you guys have been controlling Hollywood, and other potential creatives have been getting stomped on because you're either killing deals or you're taking their projects or doing whatever. And now we actually are in a void of creativity because of it. You guys were the renaissance that gave life to Hollywood again. And now you're kind of killing it, even though you're still accomplished and literally the most recognizable filmmakers in the industry since its inception. So listen, I'd rather have them leave on their own accord and then see the next generation of creatives come in that can do something great. But the infrastructure just isn't there right now. And I think the Hollywood itself going in this tactic to actually kind of forcibly push them out, even when they're still kind of making movies. Like Spielberg might be going back to science fiction and aliens in his next project coming up that he's working on.
Yeah.
Coppola, Megalopolis, he did his own money. It's his passion project film. It's probably going to be the last thing he makes, and he's probably going to be very satisfied with that. That's hit on his own accord. George Lucas did his retirement. What's going to happen now? Like, what happened to Brian De Palma? Right? He was kind of supposed to be a successor. He's kind of vanished into obscurity. Where are all those people? Where's the next generation that should be
pretty much
replacing that generation? They're not there anymore.
The audience was pushed out too. Audience attendance for 2024 down 60% since pre-pandemic.
Well, and everything they're trying is having the adverse effect. I mean, and this is one thing I'm surprised Andre didn't catch and put into his Furiosa postmortem, was that Furiosa actually lost female viewers.
Yeah.
Right? Everything they're trying to do is working against them. Like their whole point is, let's do this because this will bring the male crowd who's already into Mad Max plus the female viewers, right? Oh no. The last movie, Fury Road, 60% men, 40% women. This time out, they lost 33% of the women audience. It was over 70 some percent
available at the time. It
over 70 some percent of the audience was all male. Yeah. Well, even Chris Hemsworth ain't enough to pull him
with
in
a bad
anymore.
nose. Bad nose.
Well, yeah, that didn't probably help either. He was like unrecognizable practically, but yeah.
By the way, I have a comment since Script Doctor mentioned me.
Also, I just have to chime in. Our panel will be a little bit unrecognizable too because Scribe Light, unfortunately, has to be leaving.
Oh,
Yeah,
I do too. Yeah.
Well, I
And
appreciate
Valiant.
it. Yeah, Valiant, go ahead. I know you got a split.
Then we'll come back to you, Price. I'm sorry, buddy.
Oh no,
It's
thanks
okay.
for having me. Happy birthday, Tom. Sorry. I wish I could hang it a little bit longer, but I got some stuff that I got to get done before I leave out of here a little bit later. But thanks for having me. Hope you had a wonderful birthday,
And
Tom.
Packing Proton
Bye,
says,
Valiant.
not
Love
going to
you.
do sarcasm.
Bye, Mandy.
with
We got to get together
Valiant.
soon.
Yes,
yeah,
hit me
SC
up.
Sundays called back, and Mandy definitely has his full attention. So yeah, I just want to highlight that before you left, Valiant. Thanks for joining us
Backing.
today.
All right, guys.
Take care, Valiant.
Thank you all
Thanks
very
for being
much.
here, brother.
See you, buddy. Take care.
All right. I just want to say real quick, happy birthday, Tom, and what a pleasant surprise it's been to become your friend over the last couple of years. Just a chance meeting on an Undoomed stream a couple of years ago, and I've been watching Midnight's Edge since the Fan 4 Stick days, and I've been very happy to watch your channel develop and have the opportunity to hang out with you and have some fun with the panels and the talks and having you on my channel now. And thanks again for being such a great guy. Happy birthday. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye, Scribe.
Thank you so much, Scribe. Appreciate it.
All right,
Guys,
buddy.
I've
Have a
got to
good
run
day.
as well. Tom, want to wish you a very happy
pal.
birthday. And it's been a great joy getting to know you over the past year and a half and joining Midnight's Edge on panels often. And on today, I think we can all say,
Well, you are my arch nemesis when it comes to doing voices. So yes,
we love turtles.
we do love turtles.
I like turtles.
Later, guys. Happy birthday,
Take
Tom.
care, brother. It's good to know you.
Take care, Andre. Bye, everybody.
Take care. See you around.
All right.
So,
and
yeah.
then Price, you were about to say, I'm so sorry.
I was just going to respond because I wanted to tell Script because he mentioned me and what I said about Iger. I still say that on the same day, or the same few days that Iger needed George Lucas with all of his shares to support him on the board there, Lucas did that whole letter kissing his ass seemingly, and then they announced the can. I still think that there's a connection. And even if he gave this interview that you just mentioned, it doesn't rule out what I said. I still believe it. And I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. And I don't think that there's a way to definitively prove if you're right or I'm right. But I think that my theory is at least still plausible in my mind.
I think it's plausible, but I've been talking to everybody that just came back from Cannes, and they don't believe Bob Iger had anything involved to do with Lucas and his showcase there.
They can believe whatever they want. I know how politics works, and
So do I. And Cannes doesn't care as much as you think about Bob Iger, and so they're artistic.
I have my theories, and I'm sticking with them. And I say this also not as a guy, and I just want to say this. I say this as a guy with some experience in the industry. We have different types of experience, you and I, but I've seen enough political things happen, and I think it just wasn't a coincidence that he did the kiss-ass letter to Iger, and then everybody set up this thing for him in Cannes. I just don't think that it's a coincidence. But if you think so, then, and you and your friends, you're all welcome to think whatever you want. It still doesn't mean that you're right and that I'm wrong. And I say this with a lot of respect to you, because you know I respect you.
Oh, no, I respect you too.
You could still be wrong with all of your friends, and I could still be right. But
and vice versa.
True.
Fight.
And I've been thinking about it all week.
Because
the
format
and I was
last year they did Indiana Jones, which is like the Lucas thing. Like Lucas and Spielberg were all there last year. This is kind of like a lap. Like, okay, you've done your the last movie that you ever kind of originated and done. It's done. You're never coming back to Indiana Jones. Star Wars, you're never coming back to Star Wars. We already know what happened with Willow. Lucas isn't making anything more. Let's get him now before he passes away, because he's like 80. and that's how Cannes kind of works. That's my experience with Cannes and how it works.
What about what he said at the con? Anything that popped out to you guys?
Well, that's the thing, is the you have to be able to sit down and watch the Cannes event that he was at, the interview from that event, and everything, because there's two separate things that are going on there, and all the stories are being pulled from there, and they're being mixed. See, there was things that he didn't say on stage at the Cannes event that he said to the interviewer afterwards. And that's where some of the more stuff that, like, you can't just put a girl in pants and she's a hero and all that kind of stuff are coming from, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think Mikey watched both of them.
Cannes,
yeah. Well, they're both at Cannes, but he did an interview, in like a private one-to-one interview with a guy, where he actually comes off much better, healthier looking, and more articulate than I've seen him in a while. So I don't know if he did some coke right before that or what, but yeah, because compared to what he looked like when they like literally dragging him onto the stage and showing him where his seat is and helping him down, it looked like two completely different people. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? But anyhow, like, yes, it could be. Well, it's like, so you got the media mixing those two stories together, but I see where Script's coming from. I see where Price is coming from. And I think you guys both have your equal points. And that's where I drew a third conclusion, is that's basically, at this point, I think it's more so they're just pushing all the old white men out of Hollywood. I think that's more what it is than anything. But somebody who actually does know a thing or two about Hollywood as well, so we can add a third point of view to this, maybe. My birthday brother, somebody who I haven't talked to in a little while, and I'm so glad that he was able to make it, Mr. Tom Conkle.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Tom,
Hi.
happy birthday. Good to see you again.
Thank you. I was going to say, we are birthday brothers.
It might even be one of the last times I think we got a chance to talk. Yeah.
I think it has. It's been that
I know we've tried to
Other
sync
than
up,
when
but
we were watching Island in the Stars. That was
That's right.
Oh, that's right. We did catch up one more other time. That's true.
That's
But
absolutely.
hello.
Well, happy birthday. Thank you for having me
And
on
happy
here,
birthday.
everyone.
Yes, of course. How you been? How are
I'm
things going
good.
with Island of
I've
the
been-
Stars?
It's doing really well. I just actually did an update on Netter's show. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but went on there a day or two ago and was updating on making offers to some pretty big name actors for the movie. So things are progressing really well. I've also been doing a little bit more acting. I've been a little bit more busy. I ended up doing Tales of the Empire thing. I had a small part in that as one of the villains in that series.
I saw that.
Yeah. and I
So
shot
how
an
did that
episode of
come about?
Bosch, which was fun.
Was
Yeah.
it just work for hire? Like they just called you in as a voice artist, or how did that come about?
You know what? It was nice. I got a note from them saying we really like your voice, you know, and I guess they had heard some other things that I had done, and they said we want to offer you this part, and I'm like, yeah, let me think. Yes, okay. So I went in and did that, but it was one of the few things I did not have to audition for. So it was kind of fun, and I went in. It was directed by Filoni, so I got to talk to him, and I told him, you know, because I'm one of the Imperial officers in it, one of the villains in it, and I said, you know, I've always wanted to make it like a senator in the original Spartacus, you know, the Kubrick Spartacus, and he's like, that's what I was thinking. So we got along great, and ended up talking for about an hour after we finished the show. So it was fun. It was great to be able to do it. You know, the original Star Wars is one of the reasons I moved to LA. So for me, it was a full circle moment, you know, where you're like, I can't believe it. I'm finally, at least in some very tiny way, canon in Star Wars. So that was kind of fun. So I've been doing that, but mostly putting together, you know, film projects. I did some more writing with Script Doctor. We finished another script. So things have been very busy, but Island is progressing very well.
Awesome.
Pretty soon I'm going to be able to make some announcements about casting, which moves the ball forward even more. And we're talking to George Miller about exec producing it, which would be a lot of fun.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. So cool. We're glad to have you. We were just talking a
Yeah,
bit about
glad to be
George
here.
Lucas and all that stuff. So yeah, your timing's pretty good. But what do you say we jump to some PayPal donations or birthday gifts and some super chats real quick as we also bring in Andy Masterson. How you doing?
Hey, Andy.
Hey, Andy.
Hi, guys. Happy
How
birthday,
you been?
Tom.
Thank you. And I got
Aw,
your package this week. It seems like the only day the mail was working. Luckily. But yes, I want to thank Robert for the $10 donation. It says happy birthday, Tom. Does Bat Tom give you a discount today? Love what you do. Well, Bat Tom actually showed up yesterday and he had no idea who I was. David Stocker also sends in a birthday donation. Thank you for that, David. And we appreciate that. We got another one from Bad Gamergate who sends in 10. Thank you so much. A gift for me. Thank you. Eric sends in a $20 gift. Thank you. So that says hello. Yeah, someone named Bat Tom said he would let me go if I agreed upon if I give you this envelope and wish you a happy birthday. I guess I don't know. Anyway, bye, Eclay. Well, thank you, Eclay. We appreciate that. And then we got another one here. Let's see here if I got another handle. I think I know who this is anyway. Happy birthday, you, Tom, you and Andre. Keep fighting the good fight, and please make Streamlabs. I absolutely hate using PayPal. P.S. Never let Mikey forget that he is indeed a YouTuber. I think that's CC. I think that was CC Karaoke. I'm not 100%, but I think it is.
He's such a YouTuber.
And then we got Jesus Davila, of course, who is always a huge supporter here at the channel, who didn't say anything but sent me a very generous. Oh, he did say happy birthday, Tom. I see it there. Okay. And then Fletcher sent me one that had like balloons and stuff. I don't know how he did that, but yeah, that was really great. Fletcher, of course, who helps us out over there at Midnight's Edge Espanol, says happy birthday, Tom, and I pray continued success and blessings, Fletcher and Kin. Well, thank you for that. And then, of course, Steven, another listener from the channel, says happy birthday, Tom. Sorry I can't join you live on this festive occasion, as I'm about to go live on another channel. Have a Vinegar Syndrome buy on me. Well, thank you. Actually, that covers about half or so of what my last Vinegar Syndrome order was. But thank you for that. Appreciate it. And then we've got more super chats from the
Before
YouTube
we
side
do
of
them,
things.
though,
Yeah.
Scribe Light.
Well, Scribe has to.
Yeah,
Scribe already left.
Chris has to.
Chris
go.
has to leave us.
Yeah, Chris has to be leaving.
Tom, thank you so much for all the great infotainment. I think Midnight's Edge might have been one of the first YouTube channels I ever even subscribed to. It was a
That's
Conan.
awesome.
I appreciate it.
Something Conan Writes, Legend of Conan. I don't know what it was.
Oh, I know exactly the video you're talking about. Yeah, it was like the first rights video we did, first talking about Fredrik Malmberg. That would have been.
Well, I'm a sword and sandals guy from back to the old Savage sort of Conan comics, 4 decades ago or whatever. But Tom, it's your birthday. You're a beautiful bald man with great taste in movies and music. You're very generous, very friendly. Love you guys. Love the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Hi,
having me on.
Chris.
Thank
Good
you,
seeing you, Chris.
everybody. Thanks, Mandy. Thanks, guys.
Take
Take
care,
care.
Chris.
Yeah, so check out all the stuff that he does, and I've been hanging out with him. We might have to have him back real soon here on the morning show. It's been
Yeah, we may
been a
have to
few
do
weeks.
that. Yeah.
Oh, we got Kareen in the house who says happy birthday. Well, thank you, Kareen. I haven't seen you as much during the live streams, but I'm glad to see you made it today.
Yeah, I'm missing you.
Yeah. Packing Proton says a bit in the weeds, but what do you think about the market doing well after Trump's conviction? Oh, all the woke companies thinking they won in November. Yeah, I don't know if we can get too deep into this on this.
Yeah, we're not on Rumble now.
Yeah, I guess the best thing we can say about this, or the easiest thing to say about this, is I think it's been pretty obvious over the last couple days since this has happened, or since this is all going down, that this is not going to go the way I think they think it is. And the support for one side over the other now has shifted quite a bit. There's a lot of reasons why. So again, we can't get into it too much, and I think I accidentally just
I can talk about the markets a little bit.
Yeah, let's do that part. You can at least
Does
comment
anyone
on-
have any particular notes about why the overall share price indexes have increased a little bit? Anyone have any thoughts on that before I share what I think?
I'd love to know what you think.
I think that what we're seeing right here, like if you look at every single company, right, like literally every company you can mention, and you go into the shares side, right, you have BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street, and then less than that you have your JP Morgan Chase, and then you have other bigger banks and stuff like that. All of these, they're in pretty much everything. And when you look at the world's central banks, they also own each other, and they own a very big part of these companies. Now, who owns these companies? The owners of these companies are highly affiliated with what you might call the swamp. And they are very, very happy right now because they are less worried about being taken out back and shot than they were as of a couple of days ago. And I think that's what we're seeing right here. Because, again, just follow the money train. And the money, the people who are paying for certain campaigns, who are paying for certain DAs, who are paying for, or that some might say we're paying for certain judges and for certain jurisdiction and for certain DAs and stuff like that. They just got their money's worth, and they're very happy about it, and they think a lot about all of the future earnings coming to them that's going to continue uninterrupted now. I think that's the boost we're seeing in the markets now. It is not reflective of the ordinary businesses doing better or something like that. That's something that people have to keep in mind when you read stories saying that the economy is doing great right now. No, indexes, share price indexes for certain stock exchanges, they are doing good. This doesn't benefit you in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. It doesn't mean that any mom and pop business is doing great. It means that a certain very small elite, you might even call them aristocracy, are doing great. That's all that means.
Do you think a lot of people confuse the stock market with the economy? Like
Yes.
they conflate the two?
Yes. And traditionally, there has been a very good link between the two, because traditionally you have a bunch of, like, when you look at like the various indexes that make up all of the different stock exchanges, you're going to have a lot of smaller companies. But what's driving it up right now aren't the small companies. They're in the gutter. They're struggling. It's these big, huge corporations. They are the ones driving the share price. So that this economy, so-called, is doing good right now is a lie. It doesn't help anyone else other than the aristocracy. And this bump in indexes also just benefits the aristocracy and no one else. That's what we're seeing. The aristocracy being more confident in their future opportunities.
That's a really interesting take. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So with that, let's keep moving on. We got some more super chats here. Very generous. Mercenary X21 says, "Happy birthday, Tom! Getting ready for the ride to get wild." Well, it might be interesting.
You realize I'm stealing all your well wishes, Tom. I'm taking it. They're like, oh, well,
just
thank
pretend
you.
they're for you. Yeah, go ahead and say thank you if you want. Lost for Words says, 5 pounds says, "Happy birthday to Tom." It's Bat Tom's birthday as well, or is it? I don't know. He doesn't have a birthday. His birthday was the day that his parents were gunned down in the back street of an alley in Gotham.
That's horrible.
But it's true. That's the day Batman was born. Have a great day. Hail to all Midnight's Edge panel and hail to the chat. Well, thank you for that, Lost for Words. We got Kenneth Dowling here, says, "Hello, happy birthday to you, Tom," and the other Tom as well. Hope you're having fun. And hello, everyone. Nina, it's been a while. We missed Nina before this, but sorry.
I miss Nina.
Yeah, you did. Miss your beautiful face, Tom. You are bringing people together. Awesome. Well, I try. And then we got John Evan Bear, who sends in 2 Canadian, that's a toonie. Says, "Happy birthday, Tom. Live long and prosper. I will do my best." And then we got Packing Protons again, who says, "Happy birthday, Tom. I heard from the man in a bat suit that you keep 50% of the birthday song profits, though." This may be true. Kenneth Dowling says, "Script Doctor, how are you? I just finished screenwriting class and I'm writing my comic book and you came to mind. Loved J-Lo and Selena. Best work of her career. She should have got an Oscar nomination." Yes. Yeah, maybe.
Well,
and then
speak to a thing that we didn't bring up is that she's not really well liked in the business. And also too, exclusive here. She don't pay her actors, and she had to be sued to get money. This is exclusive. This is the first time I'm talking about this because I've had it. People talking so much great things about her. We'll just say
she does not seem like a very nice person.
The movie El Cantante, which she produced, and you know who is in it. You know who acts in it.
Yeah, we do know who is.
You know who acts in it.
We
What a
know,
huge
so
role.
we know you know this.
Correct.
She didn't pay.
Without going into further detail, we
And
know
without
who
going
knows.
into any more details, that whole cast had to sue Nuyorican Productions and J-Lo to get fucking paid.
Yeah, that's
So this has not happened once. This has happened several times, and it's how she treats people that work for her. I mean, there's stories where you can't even look at her, supposedly. So you know what?
Wow.
maybe she should be Jenny from the Cell Block.
Well,
I have an
And,
exclusive. I have an
somebody-
exclusive story about her too.
Well, before you get into that exclusive story, because here's somebody who probably would have appreciated that joke. Mr. Paul Chatto. Oh my God, a celebrities amongst us. The person that have they still left you in the dust?
Yes, I'm an ex-con.
You're an ex-con still?
He's just so funny looking. Look at him, man. I love
Looks
this
like
guy.
he's ready to go fishing.
Nah, looks like he's ready to go to some party, like tell bad
I
jokes.
just came from the
Throw
Canadian
shirt.
Airplane Museum, and they
Oh,
were
okay.
flying the Lancaster bomber today, and that's those are the call letters for.
Oh,
the
he's doing old
model.
man stuff. Gotcha.
But yeah, I just want to say really quickly, why because there's now a backlash with her.
And who are we talking about?
Jennifer
J-Lo,
Lopez.
your favorite, Jello.
Wow.
And why is this going on? Because of practices like that.
Wow. So she's not nice.
Yeah, and before
She
we
don't pay her
move on,
people, man.
I want to highlight one super chat in particular
Yeah.
because I think it's really relevant. Rambam 3000 says for £2, "Happy birthday to
Yeah.
both Toms."
Well, thank
So,
you.
Yeah, then Mr. Conkle no
Thank
longer
you.
has to pretend. And we
But,
got
yes.
another one here as well I wanted to highlight.
Birthday
Sentai
adjacent.
Ranger Donny says to The Real Deal with Tom Conkle, "If I may say this, I enjoyed your performance as the voice of Moff Istane in Star Wars Tales of the Empire." So
Thank you.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun. I'm glad you liked it. It was a lot of fun to do that scene.
That's cool. Now we actually, you know what's fucked up? We have 2 people here on this panel who have both been in an animated Star Wars show and done voices.
It's true. Yeah, we do.
I did the voice of Moff Diver.
Hey, talking about me again?
Of course, no, you played an Ewok, of course.
Well, look at him. He is
Let's
the
play Pop the
Ewok.
Sack.
Look at him.
Yeah.
It's fucking
And then-
what's
and then
what's the
Tom, of
Ewok's
course.
name?
Poplu.
Look at him.
Poplu.
They look
Hey,
alike.
Look
What
at
were you?
that.
What were you an Ewok in? What was the show?
I was
The
Poplu.
animated Ewok show, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
The first
Look at
season,
that.
right? Because
That's your
they
character?
revamped it,
Yep.
though.
Wonderful.
Wow,
It's
I
Jado.
didn't know you had that, Paulie.
That's great.
Oh, I have them. I
That's
have
awesome.
figures all
I don't
over.
think I'm going to get an action figure. I don't think that's awesome.
That is
Okay.
actually really cool.
Paul, I'll let you do I'll let you do your voiceover. Okay, hold on a second.
Okay.
All right, and
Hey, let's play Drop the Sack. Whoa, 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 whoa.
You know, if
Oh,
you
he
want an
dropped
action
his sack,
figure-
all right. Oh, now that's an action figure.
oh,
Oh dear.
June 1st, baby.
That's
Yes,
frightening.
I did not.
It's
send
my
it to you.
month. Oh my God, it's my month.
Oh,
Hi, everybody. I'm here to be the new Midnight's Edge spokesperson.
wow.
Buy my book. Wait, I don't know how to write. Ah.
Is
Anyway.
is it tucking?
Yes, it
Person
was.
package, yeah.
That was me.
I said tucking.
Oh,
I didn't say
tucking.
the F word.
Tucking, yeah.
Tucking.
Yeah, that was
Dear
tucking.
Lord, you people are filthy.
Just talking and tucking.
Wait, what?
I feel
Oh my
like
God.
Joan Rivers suddenly.
Now,
I
Price
said
had a
tucking.
J-Lo
What are you
story he was about to
thinking?
tell.
It was a
Price.
very short, exclusive story. Once there was an event that I was at, and then she was standing right next to me. Like I'm saying, like less than half a foot away, like really face to face. I just stood there. I think maybe we even said hi to each other. And I have to say one thing: in real life, she looks really good. Just have to say that. I know maybe she owes people money, maybe she's not a nice person, but I stood next to her face to face and she looked good. That's what
Well,
I
that's
wanted.
why she's a movie star. I mean,
Well,
You were looking
yeah.
at them cakes. Don't lie.
yeah, he was.
That's what he was saying.
Gorgeous
They're
woman.
picking
I
out
mean,
the
that's
cakes.
Yeah.
that's not the argument. Yeah, she's
I
Yeah.
hear another person who was a horrendous piece of shit is Billy Joel.
Ooh,
That
I'm
makes
sorry
sense.
to hear
He
that.
doesn't look
Hmm.
nice, so that he
Yeah,
doesn't
he-
even have an excuse.
He was terrible to the musicians that worked for him for 30 years. He just stiffed them all.
Oh, that
Well,
hurts.
I'm glad that those musicians phoned it in because I think his music sucks.
I agree with you,
hurts.
Script. See, we don't agree. We don't argue on everything.
Ooh.
I think his
That
music
hurts.
sucks as well.
whoa, whoa.
I like me some Billy Joel. I grew up on Billy
Well,
Joel.
when I think of Script Doctor, I think of stunt and song expert. So there you go. He knows what
Joel
I'm
is
talking
overrated.
about.
I do know
Billy Joel is overrated.
I got nothing but love for you, Script.
Likewise, Paul and
So anyhow, we have somebody who sent a super chat here who didn't make it to the panel today.
Hmm.
Thank you so much, Clobbering Times. Sent in $5. Says, happy birthday, Tom. You've been a great friend to me and so many. I'm honored to know you and always hanging out with you, brother. Live long and prosper. I think you have the link if you can make it. And same thing with Nick. I'm pretty sure Mikey shared it with you guys. Thank you, Nick, for the 20 and says, Merry birth, Miss Tom. Here's 20 to buy you some turtle related kawa fucking bunga. Yeah, I'll do my best to find something. They got tooting turtles now at the store. I was like, what the fuck? Like you squeeze them and they fart. It's
Oh.
more of this mutant mayhem garbage. Jim Watari says with $50, happy birthday to Bat Tom. Wow. Awesome. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Tom, did I
It may or may not be my birthday. No one really knows what day it is because if I told you, you may be able to surmise that I am possibly Bruce Wayne or Brad Pitt. Maybe.
Bruce Wayne's a jerk. You don't
Why
wanna
does
be-
everybody just automatically assume I'm Tom? I don't even know who this Tom guy is. Fuck this noise. Jesus. Oh my God, we got a wolf man?
There's Mexican Iron Wolf Man.
Wait a minute. Why is
Oh
he
my
green,
God.
dude?
You know
Why
what?
is he green?
Oh my
That's
God.
the lighting
I
on that.
can't tell any difference.
You know what's funny is I think Mikey has more variations than any other person except for maybe what Doomcock perhaps.
Well, you got Drunk 3PO's got.
Oh, he's got a few. That's right. I forgot. Yeah,
he's
yeah,
got
yeah.
Indiana Jones. Although Culture Casino is going to have the Hobo Gandalf coming up soon.
I saw that.
Let's see that.
I almost thought that's what you sent me when I got the box the other day. I totally spaced out the cups, and I'm like,
yeah.
oh, did I get a hobo Gandalf card or something? Like,
Well, I got bodies in the way, so I got to get you a Mikey figure.
Andy,
Sweet.
what do you do for a living?
I teach martial arts.
Ah, there you
Wait,
go.
why are you calling him out like that, Chado? That's not cool.
Because he does all
What do
this
you do for a living?
He's doing all these fantastic.
What do you
things
do for a
me. I
living
don't think
besides
he's
talk
making
shit?
Any money on this
What do you do
Paul's
for a
way-
living besides talk shit?
That's Paul's way of saying he wants a figure, Andy.
No, I'm okay. I've got my own figurine.
He's got one, but he wants one where you can see his face.
Andy is brilliant. His work is fantastic.
Thank you. Without the canoe.
He
on his
would
head.
not have said that if I didn't call him out right
No,
now. I just want
that's
you to
not-
know that, Andy. He would not have said your worker's brilliant.
I
See, Andy would make you a Mr. Canoe head with a removable canoe.
Come on,
and all
come on,
kinds of
Chado.
cool accessories. and
It's not
stuff.
removable. It's
I
well
do
in
things.
my head.
That's
Lots
right,
of
but-
removable parts.
You could do all kinds of removable parts. See, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to. It doesn't matter. See, accessories are what matters.
Yeah, in Ontario, they ruled against the Ontario government and forced us, the paying public in Ontario, to pay for an individual who wants to add a vagina made from his asshole to his dick.
Whoa,
Oh my!
whoa!
We are paying. The taxpayer is paying for this operation.
Yeah, even though the OHIP actually denied it,
I'm out
they
of-
were
I'm out of
ruled
this one.
by a court to actually pay for it. So OHIP
Right.
did its job,
Wow.
and the court said, "Screw you, you're paying for it."
That's right. We're paying for a vaginoplasty next to a dick of something.
You know, I think it's amazing that in the U.S. and Canada now, laws don't matter.
No, where do these judges? What are they? I don't get it. Anyway, that's not what our disc. We're here to celebrate Tom, not a dick and a vagina. Although that could be the same thing.
It could be one and the same. Yes.
Well, rumor
Certainly
has
responsible
that's how
for a
it
birthday.
Yeah,
If
it
he's
was.
Chado makes me feel very uncomfortable.
Now
I
that
kinda
I've
like
been
it.
banned from XCon, I am let loose, Paulie.
I know. I'm almost afraid to have you on the show now.
I think it's the shirt you're wearing. That's why you're acting this way.
It's my
That's
John Lasseter hugging shirt.
Yes, you're all. Yeah.
Watch out,
it's
women.
a little
I'm
loud.
coming to hug you.
Little loud. But all right, let's get some more of these super chats because you guys have been very generous. In fact, I got some more PayPal
I'm gonna
ones.
hug Tom too, because boobs.
I got one from VR Logic who says, "Happy birthday, Tom. Love your takes and rants. Have a drink on me." Well, thank you. And then James also sent in 10, didn't say anything, but thank you, James. And then Robert also sent 10 and says, "Happy birthday, Tom. Does Bat Tom give you a discount today? Love what you do." No, well, it's Culture who would get the discount because he pays Bat Tom. But yes, it would extend to him. And then we had, let's see here. I think did we get the one from Jim Watari? I don't know if we did. Did we?
Yes.
$50. Yes. Okay. Then we got Packing Protons. We got this one. Yes. And then we got another one from Packing Protons. It says, "I think Disney would worry if everyone but BlackRock sold their stock, because if BlackRock eventually abandons woke, they are done." Yeah. Well, I think Disney would have to get pretty bad for that to happen. But it's always a plausibility. Garuk is here and sends in 5 and says, "I watched the English dub of Godzilla -1 today. It was great. You can barely tell it was a dub." Wow, there goes all the fun. There are
Speaking
some
of dub,
people.
Were you a fan? What did you see first? The English dub of Mad Max or just the original?
English, of course, because it was probably on television, I'd imagine.
Just curious.
Yeah,
And I think the old video had the English dub on
The original DVD and the TV version was English. They finally remastered it with the Australian voices. I think the second time it came out on DVD.
it. I was gonna say, I think that's the special edition was when
It's
I
on,
think I heard it for the first time.
Yeah, that edition
Yeah.
now is on Max.
That
I
was
think
the
there might have
first-
been one video
Yeah.
I had at one time that I think it was like Anchor Bay, which used to be Video Treasures. I think released it where it had the original Australian for some reason on it. I want to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, that was the
yeah,
first
yeah.
R-rated movie I ever saw in the theater. I somehow convinced my dad that it wasn't R-rated. He took me to it, and I remember it was dubbed in the theater, and I thought, that's weird because it looks like they're speaking English, but of course
Yeah.
they're like, oh, it's Australian. There's no way they'll understand them.
I could never believe that story. That is so I thought they only dubbed Mel Gibson.
No,
they dubbed
No,
everybody.
no, they
If you
dubbed
watch
it.
it
Well,
now, it's completely
yeah.
different voices. Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
Australian
And
track.
they thought that no one in the United States would understand the Australian accent.
Yeah,
Nope.
the Australian. Yeah,
You got to
too
remember,
exotic.
Paul. This was before Crocodile Dundee.
That's right. It was
I know.
that was before we made contact with them as a
Before we made
civilization.
contact.
We couldn't understand them. Yeah.
What is this Australian thing?
Well,
People will
and
think
if-
they're
yeah.
British.
And if you
It's,
notice,
wait, it's
each
in winter
original-
down there.
yeah, each original Mad Max film, they all lost their accents more and more. So by Thunderdome, like Mel Gibson sounded really American.
Well, yeah, and that was because that was Warner was behind that one more so. But like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they
But,
No, you're not
leveled,
wrong. They get less thick in Road Warrior, yeah.
But
especially
Mad Max,
vowels.
man, to hear Goose's original voice is a
Yeah.
trip. Because I always
It
liked
is.
Goose's American accent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
That
fella,
guy,
you're
that
a
guy matched
turkey.
him pretty
You
well.
know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the beauty of disc now is they have all the different versions on it. So that's the great thing, yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
that
We got-
American TV show about they show a person disappearing. It's a cop show. It's a cop procedural, and the main character, a male cop, is from Australia. Can't remember his name.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about your story on X. What happened to you? Hey,
There's a
hey,
ton of
hey.
Australian actors actually on TV, like the main guy in Hawaii Five-0. He has an American accent in it, but he's Australian. So I mean, there's a ton of Australians that are now
Oh yeah,
doing
Right.
American
the-
roles.
the
Alex
redhead
O'Loughlin.
in that formerly Israeli.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
Israel
They,
production.
a lot of them do American accents, and just they're pretty flawless. Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of that comes from what was it like 20 years ago, 10 years ago, where we were doing a shit ton of productions in Australia.
Yep.
No, it actually comes from their theater training. Now their theater is really bulked up.
Well,
and
that's
they
what I mean.
have
They would have made
theater
them
just for. Yeah, no, they have theater
ready for American production.
ready for the productions that come to the. Yeah, correct.
That's what I
Australians
mean,
have
yeah.
any accent. They can do British and American and Australian.
That's right. That's
Usually,
right. You
I
get
don't know
like a
why,
Kate
but-
Blanchett or Russell Crowe or Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
all of them. Yeah.
Nicole
Yeah.
Kidman.
Yeah. Yeah. The pretty flawless American accent.
And then we got Ian Soforth who sends in 50 pounds. Thank you so much. Happy birthday, or as they say in Frisco, happy birthday, or in France, sorry, happy birthday.
Same thing.
Yeah, why did I say
I thought,
Frisco?
I
don't know.
thought what they say in Frisco is just take all the stuff out of the store you want.
Yeah.
I think that's what they say.
It used to be the city of brotherly love.
No, that's
You know what I mean?
that's Philadelphia.
I know I was being facetious. Erica and Raph have become
Brotherly
members.
love. I get it. I get what you're saying there.
It's still the gay capital. I looked it up.
Yeah,
for
especially
Maywood.
now during Pride Month.
Yeah.
It's yes, Pride Month has started, everyone. June
Pride
1st.
season, you mean?
Oh
Pride
my
season.
gosh, both Tom's birthday is on the first day of Pride Month.
That's
It
right.
is.
Yeah, they
And
just shut
Razor
the-
Fist was yesterday.
they
Speaking
shut
of
the
gay,
down.
what a gay name that is, Razor Fist. Like holy smoke.
It sounds painful, actually.
You can't get any more gay than a name with fist in it. That's
Well,
all.
it sounds painful, but what were you about to
There was
say?
that
Andy?
Norman Jewison movie, Fist, with Stallone. I went with a bunch of gay friends hoping for some like good fist action, and that was a lie. That was
Hey, yo.
And then you got
Ooh.
out. You went down the theater hall to go see Cruising, and then you guys were happy.
That's right.
Right? What were you about to say, Andy?
Oh, they got the Ben Franklin Bridge shut down for the Pride Parade tomorrow, so that'll be a nice traffic nightmare for Philadelphia.
Mm.
But if they're lucky,
Oh.
they'll just dodge the bullets. It's not exactly a friendly place anymore.
No kidding. And then we got Paulus Plain sending in 100 Norwegian kroner. Says happy birthday, Tom. Elon Musk net worth is 210.7 actually billion US dollars. Elon Musk has plans for his future wealth. All the future plans are the planet Mars. They could be. And happy birthday again to the other Tom, I believe he's saying. So there you go. And then we've got Jason Webster who says, hi Tom, happy birthday. I hope you celebrate those closest to you with lots of fine French champagne. Have a great day. Well, I'll do my best. I don't drink a lot though.
I'd rather have Tom Connor month, actually.
Yeah, no kidding. It's just as gay though.
It's called Pride.
It's just more 80s gay. That's the difference. Yeah, it's not as gay, but it's a different kind of gay. Anyway, Cyrano.
It also is Mental Health Awareness Month today.
Is it? I think that's ironic. Cyrano sends in 5 and says, happy birthday, Tom. 10 sent by PayPal as well. Keep telling it like it is. Well, thank you.
Nice.
Appreciate that. You were
Wait, they sent you 10 cents on PayPal?
Yes, they did. No, they sent me $10.
Yes. Oh, 10 cent. Gotcha.
Yeah. Olaf is here. How you doing? Olaf sends in 10 euros and says, hey, Tom, can I hire Bat Tom for you to sing happy birthday for you? Regardless, I hope you have had a great day and evening. On to many more. While we had him here earlier, I can see if he can come back again.
Thank you, Olaf.
All right. I knew there was no way around this for some reason. Happy birthday to the most sexiest man in the world. Happy birthday to you. You are gorgeous. If I was gay, I would totally marry you. Happy birthday to you. Even though I don't know who you are. Happy birthday to you. Sexy man.
The stuff of nightmares.
That was awkward.
Oh, no, that'd be if he did the Marilyn Monroe Happy Birthday, Mr. President.
That's next year. He's saving that.
Mr. President.
That's the obvious jump. Jason Webster says,
do you?
Jason Webster says that birthdays aren't just for celebrating your birth. They're also about creating special memories with those closest to you, family and friends. Indeed. Even Paul. And then he also says, does Andy have a this is from Packing Protons.
Yeah, this is Packing Protons. Yeah, but
does Andy have a clone of Harvey Cthulhu there? Yes.
And
did you have a bunch of babies running around too for a while?
Like
yep.
That's so cute.
Yes, the little babies. Oh my God, they're adorable.
Yeah, we've got quite a few of them. We'll be in Dallas for the Fan Expo out there, and we will be carrying a bunch of memorabilia there, including some of Harvey's children that need some homes. So if we run into you, you might be getting some child support payments from Harvey Cthulhu.
Awesome.
That is nice, and that's also a
It's
great
bullshit.
Plug. Yeah. Anything else that you want to plug on your way out? Because I know you have to be leaving.
No, thank you, Tom. Happy birthday, my friend.
Thank you, brother.
Hope it's a great one. Wanted to stop in to say happy birthday. I did an obstacle course race today, and I am dragging. So a little beat up and stuff like that. And I got to get some dinner. But anyway, great seeing everybody.
Good seeing
Love
you.
hanging out with y'all, and I hope to see you again soon.
Bye, Andy.
God bless. God bless, brother.
All
Bye,
right.
Andy.
And I thought we had a lot more than this left, but I guess it looks like we only have a couple left here. Packing Proton says maybe an Ewok can wish Tom a happy birthday.
Oh, wait, my walk?
Your Ewok can do it.
Happy birthday, Tom. Oh, I'm falling out of a tree again. Oh, these stupid fucking trees everywhere. Ah!
George does not approve of that.
All I
An
did
Ewok-
on this.
I scared my
Ewok-
dogs.
Fell
An
out of
Ewok wouldn't-
trees.
an Ewok wouldn't say fuck.
We don't know. This is, maybe.
They have
Come
their
on.
own word for fuck.
What is it? What's their word for fuck?
Beech tree, I believe is.
Wait a minute. He now has a friend.
Oh my gosh, what has he got
that?
there? Oh my gosh, what do we got?
Hello
here
there,
now?
Tom. Happy birthday,
Oh.
you motherfucker.
Oh yes, it's Captain.
It's Picard. Hello, it's a little fuzzy Ewok guy.
That's right.
Hi. We're in 2 different franchises.
Hey, can I hump your leg?
Sure.
Why, Chato?
I
Why?
am progressive.
I'm the right size. I've just picked my card.
I am being progressive.
I've come out of the Keebler tree. I am now gay.
Well, I'm now out of the closet. If we have one on Star Trek, I do not know.
Those damn Keebler elves in those trees. Fuck them.
They do make good cookies, though. We got the lovely Sherry in the house sending in $10. Says, happy birthday, Tom. Thank you so much, lovely Sherry. And we got Jason Webster says, time for a corny birthday joke question. How many pickles celebrate their birthday? Answer, they relish the moment. Aw. Or how do pickles celebrate? I screwed it up. My bad. Packing Protons also says Sesame Street is putting out Pride
wait,
tweets,
hold on.
sadly.
You know why everyone likes working in a pickle factory?
Why is that?
Because there's never a dill moment.
That's a dad joke.
Hey,
That
it's
is
a
a dad
great
joke.
dad joke.
I'm on fire.
But Sesame Street putting out Pride tweets. Didn't they do that last year too? I'm trying to remember. I think they did.
Everyone is right now. Major
Well, they
League
got
Baseball,
the two moms and
blah,
dads
blah.
or whatever.
Everyone is.
Paul, I seem to recall that last year you did like a count on how long Pride Month actually lasted in Canada.
Yes.
And how long, like the Spanish Parliament or something, kept like the Pride flags going. And I seem to recall it was a very long Pride Month.
3 months.
Do you think this one is going to be any longer?
It's going to be, once again, it's going to be 3 months.
Yeah, it's a season.
It's a season. We have Pride season. And we've already had all sorts of trans something and binomial distribution something. So it's way more than 3 months anyway. So
yeah, well, tis the season to be jolly at Christmas, and tis the season to be gay, I guess. So
that's right. That's right.
Right.
And I'm done with it. I used to be a huge supporter of Pride Month, but I'm pretty much done.
Yeah, that's funny because for everyone who's listening, Paul used to be on the barricades fighting for the cause back in the day.
But he don't know nothing about it.
And what I've been saying is when things get so overexposed, tolerance doesn't go up, it goes down. And that's what we're seeing. When you have someone that used to be on the barricades and everything like that, now being done with the whole thing and looking forward to 2 and 3, 4 months from now when the next month will be over.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good times.
It'll be yes. We'll be celebrating it. I'm going on the float. I will be dressed in my leathers.
Oh, nice.
I figured that my appearance alone will shut down Pride Month early.
That's a hell of a plan.
I've seen some of the others there. So yeah.
Right.
Hey, he's not really gay. What's going on here? Who let the straight Jew on? Dear Lord. Holy Christ.
I thought this was the float for Palestine.
That's me too. I thought I'm floating to Palestine. This is what I'm doing. I'm projecting my gayness into Gaza. So
It'll be Gaza.
it'll be Gaza. It'll be so fabulous.
We're gonna reestablish it. Jason Webster says with 10 us.
Flotilla, I'm bringing my gay float over.
Well, you are lighting the loafers.
That's right.
Jason Webster sends in 10 Australia and says Australia, 86% of the films that are exhibited yearly in theaters nationwide are American. Australian films only represent 6% of the domestic box office share. Yeah.
Oh, we'd
Well,
love
I think-
that in Canada. No one watches Canadian movies at all up here.
Yeah, well, Canada funds them all, and they don't distribute them. That's the problem.
Although Blackberry did, I think, probably the best of any film in a long time.
Well, that's because of Jay Baruchel. He used Seth Rogen to help him get the movie out.
Yeah. And David Cronenberg always has something horrific.
I sometimes
it's
am
a Star Trek
surprised that Jay Baruchel has a career.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. I mean, again, he gets paid in American, but he lives in Canada, so he gets 30% more value from his dollar. So that's why he can still be around.
That
Yes.
helps.
Well, he's not as bad as what do you call it?
No,
Seth
it's just
Rogen.
really
Yes,
annoying.
no, he's
That's
not
all.
as bad as Seth Rogen.
Far
Seth
more
Rogen is more
pleasant.
annoying.
No, Jay Baruchel is a Canadian who's done well in the United States, came back, and is now trying to do stuff in Canada. I have a terrific amount of respect for him.
Yeah, like Paul Gross.
Yeah. Yeah. Jim Carrey
Indeed.
became an American citizen. He can go fuck himself.
Yeah, at least
Oh.
Martin Short was a dual citizen.
We were glad to have him until we realized how crazy he fucking was.
He's batshit crazy. He's nuts.
He's a wonderful person, though. I know him. I have known him. I haven't talked with him in a good long time.
But
So
speaking of assholes, I've heard David Cronenberg is quite the asshole.
that I can't tell you. I've had my verbal run-in with him. He was,
Or was
not-
it? No,
he was
wait.
pleasant.
Okay, yeah, maybe it is Cronenberg. I'm thinking.
I don't know. I can, you know. I mean, I might have deserved what I got from him. I can't be completely, certain.
Who was it that John Carpenter was griping about? Was it Cronenberg or Lynch more recently?
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
know.
we need to
I must have been the only one who saw this interview because he was asked about the whole Masters of Horror thing. And he's like, I don't do those fucking things anymore. And they're like, why? And he goes, one day I went in there. He goes, when we first started, it was a bunch of us guys getting together, having supper, talking about the old days and all the cool shit, and stuff like that. And then one day I go in there and I can't remember if he said it was David Lynch or David Cronenberg. It was like holding fucking court. And he said something like, hey, Dave, and Dave just totally ignored him. And he's like, well, fuck this noise. He's like, I can go home. And,
Lynch.
yeah. And
Lynch
he's like, I can
is
see, it
so
sounds like both of them. That's the problem. He said, I can go home and play video games and get stoned. Fuck this. He goes,
That kind of sounds like Cronenberg.
Yeah.
yeah. Somebody in the chat.
Cronenberg's in Star Trek Discovery, and he's there because he likes sci-fi and he wants them to use all their fancy tech on him.
But yeah, they used to do this like every month thing. They would get all together and have dinner, all the horror guys. And he said, like, yeah, as soon as it became like that kind of a thing, he's like, fuck it, So anyway, moving on. I think we're caught up on all of the well-wishing super chats, so I appreciate that. And I think we're all caught up on the PayPal side of things as well. I don't know if there was any other things we needed to address, but I do want to thank everybody who made it today. It's always fun to get to talk to people that I don't normally get to talk to on an average basis, aside from Paul.
Happy to be here and happy birthday, Tom. I really
Thank
appreciate
you, Tom.
being
Yeah.
back on.
Coming from you, it means a lot because we share a birthday, of course, our birthday brethren.
Absolutely.
But of course, everybody, it's meant so much to have you here. And of course, Andre, thanks again. And Mikey, who hasn't made it yet, but of course, sent a video just in case he didn't make it. Thanks for getting most of this put together and set up with Andre. Appreciate it. If he's still listening. Oh, and CC was just getting ready to hop on. Yeah, I know. I was starting to wonder if some people were going to make it or not, but I think we're getting a little long in the tooth here. And
I got to get going, but I think it's fantastic that Tom's birthday and both Tom's birthdays are the official launch of Pride Month.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
beautiful,
amazing.
isn't it?
First time I've
Fantastic.
heard that. Yes, thank you.
Because then we
I
get
think-
to honor Mr. Conkle as well in these yearly birthday streams. So nothing is better than that.
Did you think you were going to get to celebrate Pride Month without me showing up?
Oh my
Hello,
god. Oh,
Optimus Pride.
Yep. I'm hoping that you're distributing your branded butt plugs.
Yes, and my gender fluid.
Gender fluid is great for your windshield.
I have it changed every few weeks. It's amazing.
It takes the bugs off the windshield like the Dickens.
Like you wouldn't believe, buddy. Cleans the tailpipe clean out.
Clean.
Clean as can be. But I just wanted to say hello to everybody. It's time to celebrate. Let's get crazy. Bumblebee.
Bumblebee, turn on some music.
Oh god.
Time for some village people. And then we got Copied Kitty. I think that is right.
Copied Kitty, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wow,
Copied
that's a new
Kitty.
name. I don't know if that's a different listener with a new name or a regular listener, I mean, with a new name, or if that's a new listener. But thank you for the birthday wishes from Copied Kitty. I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Thank
and
you.
yeah, and she said, "Happy birthday, Toms." So it was for the two of you.
The two of us. Oh, so maybe it's
Yes.
somebody who knows the other
Thank
Tom.
you.
That could be why. Oh.
There you go.
Jason Webster also sends in another Australian, says that's why koalas are so chilled. They're in the trees, hocked up on eucalyptus, listening to Bob Marley and Jimmy Cliff. That's right. Every little thing gonna be all right.
I will tell you, I was in Australia during their summer, which is December, and we literally saw gum trees exploding because it was 45 fucking degrees centigrade.
Jesus.
It was hot,
Yeah.
insane.
It gets hot. Yeah.
And then the fires start, and then they close off huge chunks of the country.
Australia is not for the squeamish.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's a beautiful country.
Everything is trying to kill you there.
That's right. Everything. Have you seen the huntsman spiders? Yeah.
Yes. The funnel
Huge.
spiders, which will actually stop in front of you and challenge you.
Yes.
Beside
They'll
you.
also do the windows of your car. It's pretty amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
Then
They're pretty big.
The gimpy. That's a bush that will drive you insane. It's a real thing.
Yes.
The fines are so fine and small that once they get inside your body, they cannot be removed, and they irritate and itch you. And
That's basically your girlfriend.
to a degree.
Wow.
And with that, I think it's time for Andre.
With that, it's time
So
to say
nice to
thanks to
see
everyone who is
all of
here.
you.
Thanks to
Meet
everyone
Mandy.
that's still
Never
here
met
and that has gone already. Thanks to everyone watching. Thanks for all of the birthday wishes. We'll get back to you regarding membership stream, which is still a maybe for tomorrow. And we are definitely back again on Monday. Anyone want to plug anything in particular?
In about 90 minutes, my Scripts on Saturday show with CC Karaoke will be going live. We'll be talking about a romantic comedy where best friends are divided by a boyfriend that enters the picture.
Fantastic.
Check that out. That's your commentaries are always interesting. That's a good one to
It's a
look
good
at.
show. I've been on it a few times and it's really good.
Yeah.
Even when I'm not there.
Paulie, I know you're usually doing stuff.
Just wanted to say happy birthday, man. I love you,
Thank
bro.
you.
Love you, brother. Have a great
yeah.
weekend.
Take care of
And
yourself.
also in the comments, you will find the YouTube channel for Mr. Tom Conkle. Anything in particular
right.
you want to plug?
We're still plugging away doing if you want to make a fun indie genre movie, we're the crowdfunding's still open if you want to buy a ticket now when we need it. And I'm creating some new stuff on my YouTube channel, including audio fiction comedy. I have a sort of Naked Gun take on Flash Gordon, which you can listen to on there, which we did for fun. An incredible cast. And now I'm just glad to be here, and I want to come back on here, and we'll talk a little bit more about it when we have time.
Yeah, I helped fund Tom's thing, and one of the perks I got was a square cut from his terry cloth house coat.
Yes.
Oh, wow,
Filled
that's
with his sweat.
fancy.
I think you went with the beige, did you not?
I did,
Yeah,
and it's
you
filled
did.
with sweat. I
Whenever I wear it, my nipple sticks through because
Well,
the
and-
square is gone. Yeah.
The messed up part is now his bedroom is that color because his wife thought it was a swatch. So she's like, I didn't know you were planning on doing some painting, and he had to quickly think of
Yeah.
something, and he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
If you go one perk up, you can have my raiment. If you
nice.
And Mandy, it's been way too long to see you again. Any you want to plug?
Yeah, you guys just check out my YouTube channel, Mandy Summers. And Tom, hit me up. I want to come on Toxic Film and say really inappropriate stuff to the audience.
Well, it's
'Cause
been
I'm
too
good at
long.
that.
Yes.
It has. And Tom,
Yes.
happy birthday. Love
Thank you.
you. Other Tom, happy birthday to you too, Love Bug. You were
Thank
great
you.
on baskets. You were
Thank you.
amazing on baskets, sir.
Oh, thank you.
I love that.
That was
show.
surreal. Yeah.
There you go.
At least I got to play a little piano. Yeah. Yeah.
You did. And yeah, thank you guys for having me. I love Midnight's Edge. You guys just freaking rock. So thank you guys.
Yeah.
It's been a while. It's good to see you.
It
And
has.
then we also got a new member, namely that squirrel that is appropriate for Pride Month, who became a YouTube member.
Oh, wow.
I'll leave it at that since we're
That's
not
a-
Rumble.
That's
So,
a hell of a name.
Indeed. And
Yeah.
with that, it is time for some koalas in the rain.
Take care,
We
all.
have those.
Koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain. No fucks given. Koalas in the rain.